tonight. Hope you are doing fine. Live stream. Try again. Okay, so make sure we're on. It says online. Let's take a look. Make sure people are seeing stuff. It looks like you are. This is good. So I don't know why we aren't connected to Discord. Put Discord up. Okay, so I don't know why things aren't going the way that they should. Okay, let's share this out on Twitter. Hey Shinobi, how are you? I hope you are doing good. Just give me a second and I will be coloring. I'm just getting some things done here. Yeah. Hear me? Okay, so there we go. Okay. Let's get to the drum. Or should I say the coloring. Hey Lorenzo, how are you? So we get colors here that we can grab. Actually, my new colors. Let me see whether I got different colors that aren't quite so bright. Comics, cross, elements. My eyes are strained from looking at the screen for hours. But I was, and I still am curious as to what you're working on. I'm coloring my character Frogger. Ah, crap. Not what I wanted to do. Hopefully soon Meadow will be joining me. He has his vomitorium going right now. Okay, so there we go. You name a character that since there's yeah, because Frogger, although my Frogger obviously cannot look like their Frogger, and I think you can tell that he doesn't. Um, because if you look up the word Frogger, yes, you will probably get that. But there's a dictionary definition beyond that. And here, uh, here we look that up. Yep, you certainly get a lot of that Frogger. From the Oxford Dictionary noun, UK English, see frog. Doo -doo 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 -doo. Okay, that's not doing me much there. Frogger, O'Brien took a barb in the back as she would dove at a group of unsuspecting froggers. In other words, I guess it's people collecting frogs. In this case, I thought there was another meaning that we figured out. Frogger, the pro-platter used in frogging, transferring cells to another plate. Here, I'll show you. Actually, I'll put the link in the thing here. Yeah, but see, my character is completely different. It's like DC and Marvel both have. A character, a scarecrow character. So there's, there's also, here's one Urban Dictionary: aggressive freeway driver who jumps from lane to lane, hoping to shave precious seconds off their commute. Of course, yeah, a lot of people would think too of it as the game automatically. Yeah, and that's I believe where I got my idea for the name. But as you can tell, like I said, his look is nothing like that of the game. Give me a second. I get my mom to turn the TV down. Can you turn that down a bit, Mom? Yeah. Apple computers only got in trouble with Apple Records when they put the MIDI card in their Apple Ligs. Okay, I have no idea what that is. The MIDI card? And worst case scenario is I just have to change his name, right? So. Hey, Metal.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Whoa, you're loud.
Oh, let me turn that down. How's that?
That's good. That's good.
Okay, yeah, I had to boost it for the vomitorium because I have music in the background and stuff like that, and I had to keep it away from my face so people could hear me.
Yeah. And then you forget about all that when you're coming on another show.
Yeah, well, because I went and reheated some food and stuff, so I'm like, oh, yeah.
So Lorenzo's in the chat. We're talking about the possibilities of the name for, well, if I might have to change the name, but I don't think I would.
Of your Frogger?
Yeah. Because he looks a lot different. His powers are going to be a lot different. Yeah, I think, well, actually, they can both hop really high or whatever, so. But I think that's to be expected with the character named Frogger.
My character named Frogger is just going to catch frogs.
Are you actually going to have a character named Frogger?
I don't know. Probably not. I won't rule it out.
MIDI allows people to hook up a musical keyboard to a computer. The Apple GS was the first and last computer they made with one built in.
Why are we talking about computer history here?
Well, Lorenzo, I guess, sort of cited, said Apple computers only got in trouble with Apple Records when they put a MIDI card into their Apple Ligs or whatever.
Oh yeah, well because trademarks are they're specific and confined. So if you trademark something, it has to be to like the realm in which your trademark qualifies for business. So if you don't do anything related to music, then Apple Records couldn't sue you over it. But the second that Apple Computers does something in the realm of music, then they start getting into the territory of Apple Records trademark. Yeah, that's how a trademark works.
Yeah, so what would have happened with, like an iPod then? You thought the MIDI... Well, iPods usually...
Well, if they still didn't do it for years, sure. But I mean, that this was already handled way before they came to their agreement. Yeah.
Apple Records made Apple Computers promise that when they started their business not to enter the music business. Apple Records sued when Apple Computers included a MIDI card in their Apple IIgs. That's just ridiculous because they're not in the music business at that point. It's just people would use that sort of thing, Apple's just being a jerk Apple Records was just being a jerk. And he says he's not sure how Apple iTunes is allowed to a thing. Maybe Apple Records is not so much a thing anymore.
Didn't when Apple Electronics got bigger, didn't they buy out Apple Records? Isn't that the reason why they're allowed to do things?
Well, that could be too.
It's all part of Apple Corp. I'm pretty sure it's all just part of Apple Corp now.
Yeah, it could be a couple different reasons. That does seem like a very logical one. And actually, one that
Let's see, Apple Corp subsidiaries. Apple Records, Apple Electronics, Apple Films, Apple Publishing. Yeah, I think they just bought them out. It's like if we own you, we don't have to worry about this anymore.
Yeah. And they were big enough to buy them. They had enough money. Probably one of their first purchases. Or buyouts, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't agree with what Apple Records did unless they had to sue in order to protect a trademark.
You do have to protect your trademark.
Yeah.
In some way or another. Now, you don't always have to bring it to a legal case to protect your trademark, but you have to do what you need to do.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, were they really protecting their trademark by Apple simply putting a thing in the back of their computer, some sort of...
Mm-hmm.
Because are Apple getting in the record business at that point, or the music business?
Well, that's also part of the reason why there's a bite out of the apple in the logo. Like they have a in-house reason for it. Like there's an artistic direction for why they chose the Byte, but they also had to make their logo different because Apple Records had an apple for their logo.
Yeah. Well, that I can see too. For me, it's just okay. These guys are just putting another thing in the back of a computer. It's like getting sued for putting a TV card in their computer. You see some TV company. At least in my opinion.
Okay. So you have to look at what a trademark is, right? A trademark is basically the intellectual equivalent of putting a fence around your property.
Yeah.
You're striking down a territory for people in to play on your property.
Yeah.
But storming into your property without your permission, there has to be consequences for it.
Yeah.
Or else you basically forfeit your right to that property.
Yeah. Well, I guess it becomes the thing is, were they getting into the music business or whatever by putting that in there? I wouldn't necessarily.
That was the initial argument.
Yeah. Well, I would figure if I could come up with that in about 2 seconds, you know, I'm sure they could. Because you can just, you know, you can put that in just for people to record voices in, you know, or whatever, you know, speech and all that. It's, you know, almost no different than, you know, the mini jacks that you have in a PC, right? You know, for, you know, mic or thing. They're just making it bigger so you can get a better mic. Lorenzo says, even as a kid, he said, Penguin Books sued Penguin Software, and from what I recall, they not only had to change their name, they were forced to erase the discs containing their programs. And he also says, even as a kid, I never thought Penguin Software had anything to do with Penguin Books. Yeah.
Oh, so we basically finished Flit's character last night. Or this morning. Was that like? I think it was like almost 4 o'clock my time.
Well, that's good, I guess.
Yeah. And he said he will be drawing his own token. To quote him, he said, "You've done enough work as it is." And I'm not going to argue against that.
Yeah. Yeah, some of these, you know, I get protecting a copyright or a trademark, you know, but sometimes they do it foolishly, in my opinion. And I don't know who would have won that court case that Lorenzo was referring to earlier. You know, about them putting the thing in the back of their...
I know who didn't win the court case. The people.
Yeah, because they only hurt, you know, people like you and me by not being able to put it in. Well, that's if Apple computers lost.
Mm-hmm.
Did they lose, or do you know?
Oh, I have the case up in front of me. I'm looking. Because Bahamut was technically international as well, right? Because Apple,
Both of them, actually.
two companies. Okay, so Apple Inc. is the computer one, so there's still two different companies. Apple Corp it's a bigger thing. So there's an Apple Electronics and an Apple Inc. That's actually really confusing. Now I'm really wondering how they're able to do things. Yeah, I was mistaken earlier. Apple Corp is a different thing. But Apple Corp, which is owned by the Beatles, Inc., over their trademark rights. And the
Yeah.
High Justice in England handed down the judgment on May 2006 in favor of Apple Computer.
So you're saying
And the
they...
companies reached their final settlement in 2007 in February.
Oh, wow. That's a more, well, on the grand scheme of things, a little bit closer than what I thought it was.
Yeah. So they did settle out of court, but they settled out of court not because the court couldn't decide or because they canceled the case. The case was decided on. They just chose to settle it between themselves instead of requiring the court to come up with an agreement.
Yeah. Does it say what the agreement was, or?
Let me see. Mm-hmm.
Because I can't really recall, well, not that I've seen a lot of Apples, I don't think they have the MIDI jack in.
I'm looking if they actually tell you what the settlement is. They may not. If it was settled out of court, they might not actually tell you what the settlement is.
Yeah, well, I think we could surmise, based on the fact that I don't think Apple computers have that jack in, that they settled on the fact that they would not keep it in for further computers.
Okay. So, the settlement basically gave full rights to the trademark to Apple Inc. And the trademark will be licensed back on the provision of the certain things to Apple Corps. So, like Apple Records, Apple Electronics, all these tiny things. The settlement included the terms that are confidential, although newspaper accounts at the time stated that Apple Computer was buying out Apple Corp's trademark rights for a total of $1 million. You can't really trust that, though, because it was all confidential.
Lorenzo says Apple never added the MIDI card to any subsequent computers. And he says it's a sham because the Mac was used by a lot of musicians but never had a MIDI port built in. Yeah, and although I agree, the crazy thing is, there's enough adapters out there that there probably was something that they could have adapted, something like that to go into the computer anyways. So, it was just trying to save some people some hassle and getting the adapter.
Oh my god. And then Apple Inc. BM'd them. You know what BM means?
Not exactly.
It's modern lingo in video games. Like if you're playing a competitive game and you BM somebody, that's bad manners. So that's like being a sore winner and stuff like that, right? Like rubbing in their face, being toxic towards them. So they BM them movement. So that's funny. And in early September 2007, an Apple press release for their new iPod Touch related to iPod updates, and the iPod price cut was entitled "The Beat Goes On," which was also the title of the Beatles' last press release before splitting up. Because, you know, they won their suit and had the privilege of rubbing it in their faces. Paul McCartney was quoted in the Rolling Stones saying that their catalog would be released through digital music stores such as iTunes in the first quarter of next year, or 2008. But that didn't actually happen until 2010. But that's like the equivalent of killing somebody in Halo and then teabagging their body.
Yeah. It's crazy. Unfortunately, they do that. They just wanted to add insult to injury.
Mm-hmm. See, the thing is, you don't actually need a MIDI card anymore, though. Like, there's no reason for a new computer to have it, because basically any modern sound card, which your motherboard by default probably has a sound card, has MIDI capability in it. You just need to download the right drivers and get an adapter for it.
Yeah, but I guess it's
which is why like anybody can make use a MIDI keyboard.
Yeah, but I guess it's the whole thing of being able to do it without an adapter. You know?
Yeah. Well, an adapter is good to have, though, because it works from computer to computer.
Yeah.
It'd be the prudent thing to do.
Lorenzo said Macintosh had 2 expansion ports. A third-party company probably manufactured MIDI cards. Yeah, had 2 probably.
With modern computers, you can actually just, depending on the program, use your actual keyboard as a MIDI keyboard.
Yeah, and then probably a lot of stuff modern day, you know, you're probably getting keyboards, especially more top-end ones or semi-top-end ones, with Bluetooth or whatever capability, so you can just, or wireless capability, so you can just
well, most people
link up.
Aren't going to want to even use MIDI anymore because you can do full audio recording. So they would probably just use you use like a mixer or a Phantom Power Box the same way you would do for a microphone. Yeah, you could do MIDI with USB. I've done it before too. Necessarily need MIDI. Straight up recording a lot easier. Like a mixer or Phantom Power, you plug your auxiliary cable straight from your keyboard directly into that, and you can record the raw electronic sound of it like you would with a guitar or a microphone.
Yeah. So ultimately, you know, 13 years later, it doesn't really matter, the lawsuit. There's no big loss on Apple's.
Yeah. Actually, somewhere around here, I have an aux to USB adapter cord. Yeah, MIDI is a controller, yeah. I'd have to find it, though. I have a lot of strange equipment that I just don't use. maybe I'd start using it again, because for the longest time I didn't have a computer that was strong enough to do anything.
Yeah. You know what that's like. It's amazing how we got it sort of on this topic, all because of the name of my character. Yeah. Sometimes things are useful for conversation.
Yeah, one of the things I like about MIDI control, especially as a file type, is how easy it is to manipulate. I used to mess around with like video game tunes and stuff back in high school. Never released anything. I would probably go back to that.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't sound as good as anybody who ever did like a professional remix. I'll tell you that. It sounded like crap, but I was learning what I was doing.
Yeah. No, this character's name is Frogger. We're talking about the name of Frogger versus thing, and somehow that led into the lawsuit.
Yeah. MIDI would not be a bad name for like an elf or like a halfling or something, though.
Yeah.
I also used to have this cool program on my old computer. I should go and re-download it. It's free. Where I think it's called Sound Font, and basically, the way it works is you could take any like MIDI that's already assembled, and you can change the sound font of any of the instruments in there. And it's an easy way to like change things to sound right. So, if I wanted to, I could take like a modern song has been written into sheet music for MIDI format, or I could take a newer gaming song and I could put it in the sound font for, say, the NES, and it would sound like an old NES game. Though some of them I'd have to take away some tracks because the NES could only have so many tracks, and if you tracks in a song, it would definitely not sound like it belonged on an NES.
Yeah. Marsupial says, I have a character named Pitfall Harry. That should be fine, right? I highly doubt it, since that's a little bit more specific than Frogger. And I think Metal said the other day, Frogger is actually also the name of somebody who collects frogs.
It's one of the several definitions of it. Yeah. Can't trademark it, though, right?
Yeah.
The word apple was trademarked. And how old is the word apple?
Yeah. I'm surprised he got away with that in some ways.
Yeah. In the current form that it looks like, apple goes all the way back to Old English and Dutch, spelt basically the same way, except the L was after the E. So that's a pretty old word, going through the Germanic roots.
Yeah. Rick, John asked me to tune in because he wants to start the process of asking you to let him use the shield. I've already said yes, he can use the shield. He wants to start the Canadian Shield Part 2.
Didn't you already start the Canadian Shield Part 2? I mean, you've been coloring it and your guy's been working on it, right? Unless they mean something more specific, like start the process of hyping it up or whatever, I don't know.
And also let him use his shield. Yeah, well, use the shield, I've said yes. I'm not sure what they mean by Part 2, like you said. Issue 2 is in the middle of being drawn up. Yeah, it's not going quite as fast as I'd like. But at the same time, I don't really mind that because it gives me time to save up the money to pay the guy. I've got about half the money at the moment. John the Shaking Metal is playing Minecraft on a Switch. Laugh out loud.
Oh, you probably just hears my my fork hitting my plate and stuff. I'm like shoveling rice into my mouth.
And she says, John is shaking his head disappointed with my message to him. Delivery. Apparently I got most of it wrong. Well, I'll forgive you, Miss Dillard. I won't hold it against you.
Oh, he sees you in his friends list. That's not me playing it. I don't play Minecraft. Hold them over on my brother's because I have one of my users also on my brother's Switch. One of our high school friends plays using my user, so they're playing it together over at his place. It was easier than him making his own user. Yeah. I actually have never played Minecraft on the Switch. I've had no desire to. It's like, I've already got Minecraft on my computer. If I'm ever going to play it, I'm just going to go back to the computer version. Assuming that you can still log in with the Java version of Minecraft. I haven't played it since then.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
I have an offline version of it, so it has the Java version. I have to go
remember the login for my Mojang account. Thankfully, I have no desire to play Minecraft, period. There's always people trying to get me to play, too. It's like, you think you're safe. You think it's been a while. It's like, nobody plays Minecraft anymore. And then one of your newer friends that you didn't even know play Minecraft is like, hey, I've been playing Minecraft. You want to play with me? It's like, no, get away from me, heathen!
He says, oh, well, just for your information, your brother is playing Minecraft. Okay, so Mrs. Dillard, did you figure out the real information that you were supposed to pass along or ask or whatever?
Yo, I want to play Stardew with somebody too. I don't actually own a copy of that game though. I've played it, but when I played it was on the PlayStation 4, and one of the people who was over all the time had an account on our PlayStation 4, so I just played it because he used it as the main system. He didn't have a PlayStation 4 himself.
Oh, and just everybody, tomorrow night there's not going to be any
wait,
After Dark.
I do own it on PlayStation. I forgot. I do own Stardew on PlayStation.
Because I'm going to be on.
Go download that.
I'm going to be on the drawn and quartered drawing up the Buckler Fan Edition.
Mm-hmm.
Are you on there?
Oh, I probably didn't sign up. I'd
Uh,
have to double check. I don't remember if I did, but I'm gonna say I didn't sign up.
yeah, you probably could if you wanted to.
No, they're always looking for more people. Nobody ever really fills out until the day of, if it even fills out.
Yeah.
And I think they're doing it through Discord now too, so you can actually have more than 10 people in the call.
I'm trying to get.
Minecraft actually is a really popular game. It's not as popular as people make it out to be, but it is in the top 50 selling game franchises. It's like down in number 37 or something like that, which is still very impressive to be there, but people act like it's number one.
Yeah, I wasn't very impressed with it at first. I've played it now quite a bit, and I don't mind it. But when I first...
And some people will try to say, it's like, well, it's only one game. How many sales could you get compared to other franchises? But really what they're looking at is all sales, which includes, like, merchandise and stuff. And, yeah, it is the number one best-selling game of all time. But there's not a lot to the franchise. And we're also looking at merchandise and stuff. And when you look at all that, it's like number 37 or something like that. Which is what I was getting at. For a single game, yes, it is the number one best-selling game. But then obviously when you look at franchises, Pokemon, not even just as a game, but Pokemon period, is the number one selling franchise in the history of the world.
I think you started mentioning that you would be talking about the Buckler and his ego wanted to listen in.
Yeah.
That sounds like John. John and his big
Might have been
ego.
higher. Might have been maybe 27. I might have been lowballing it a bit. I know it's like right next to League of Legends when it comes to merchandise and overall sales. Like they've been comparable to each other. I think it just barely beats League of Legends out. I looked at the list not too long ago.
Probably one that I think probably coming up, probably close, and I could be wrong, is Fortnite as well.
Yeah, Fortnite sells a lot of merchandise. Minecraft does have Lego sets. You know what games are actually on the top 50, but it disappoints me? is The Legend of Zelda's up there. Point me that it's in the top 50, but when you look at sales, it's like really low down. It's like number, like it's in the 40s or something like that. It's like, oh man, I wish it was higher.
But then you wanted me to harass you about the content of your show, so I paraphrased and made up stuff because I didn't want to be mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just a few more weeks. Any names picked out yet, Mrs. Dillard? Or are you not revealing that?
I can't remember, because Marsupial says there's hardly any Zelda merchandise that he knows of, other than amiibos. There's actually probably a lot more Zelda merchandise than you know of. I can't remember the name of the product, but it's kind of like this kind of playset where you buy pieces and you hook them up onto each other. I've seen them in the stores, and they're like the Wind Waker chibi style of designs.
Yeah, well, there's also shields and swords from it, costumes.
Yeah, but they have Zelda toys, like, that you find in stores. That's what I'm thinking of, and that when you see stuff like that, that is an indicator of popularity and sales, right?
Yeah, I
Because
think
like you see Pokemon toys in stores and stuff like that.
I wish I had a migraine. I had a migraine all day yesterday and ended up in the hospital, but I was cleared to go home. Oh, sorry to hear that. I think Lorenzo, congratulations. The second baby came at the wrong. He put it in at the wrong time because just after she says about the migraine, he goes, "Congratulations."
Oh, yeah. Dillard was actually talking about Moratorium earlier. I've seen Zelda merchandise in Target and in Walmart.
Yeah, I think I've seen them more.
I'm trying to remember what that stuff was because I wanted them. They were like modules, right? So there was like a square that would have like a Moblin fort or something on it, and it would come with like an enemy and Link, and then you buy another one that can clip on, and you're basically like building your own little game world. But I can't remember what they were called.
Marsopio says, I don't go to stores.
Yeah. Yeah. World of Nintendo is the one who did it, though. Let me look up World of Nintendo Zelda. There's a whole series of Nintendo products, toys, and figures and stuff like that you can get, and it's under the brand World of Nintendo. And they have a Zelda line because Zelda is one of the more popular games that Nintendo has.
Well, Evan says he fell asleep during the podcast. He's suing for throwing off his schedule.
Oh, good luck, because there's nothing to stew over for the podcast. We've got nothing.
Oh, and what do you think of that? I filled in the thing based on what you did. What do you think for the map?
I mean, it's functional.
Well, I'm more planning on putting it as like a background in here. No. Oh yeah, I gotta send you this. I upgraded my.
To be honest, I like the one with the flats better.
You do?
It works better for a token. Well, also think I'm shrinking it down, right?
Yeah.
And you see how tiny the tokens are on the screen.
Yeah.
I mean, all of my tokens are just flats if you've seen them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have. But yeah, I was just thinking of putting the island in here. Somewhere around here. You know where the guy was before I took him out.
Oh, if I had extra time, I was thinking of just drawing myself in that like classic Final Fantasy style, and then doing the gradient to match, and just sending it to you so you could put it there. Since I'm the game master.
Oh yeah. If you want to do that.
Yeah. I probably won't have it done by the time of this upcoming episode, but I'll probably send it to you if you want to put something there in the meantime.
Yeah. You know, slowly building this up. Heck, you've got Flit's icon that you're doing. And do we have an icon for Evan? Or Avatar, or whatever you want to call it?
That hasn't been done yet, and I'm not doing Flits. I asked him, he said...
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah.
I would have done it if you wanted me to, but... He said, no, you've done enough work already. Question from Dillard. Is it detrimental or positive to introduce new art styles in a planned series? It's only detrimental if you do it in the middle of a book, which I know Dillard's not dumb enough to change art styles in the middle of a book. But you can evolve an art style over the course of a series, and it's not a problem whatsoever. Unless the art style's worse than what happened before, then it's detrimental.
Yeah.
But if you want to look at manga, it does this a lot, where the art style changes over the course of a series, and it might even look drastically different than it did at the start by the end.
Yeah, and that's probably because it's possible. I think different artists and all that. I'm not sure for manga whether they change artists or not, or how often they do.
Oh, most of the time it's the same guy.
But I'm just thinking when it gets into 300 or 400,
No, because when it comes to manga, the property is usually owned by the artist or the team if there's more than one person working on it. But it's owned by them in a joint custody with the magazine that's publishing it.
Oh, okay. So not a lot like say Superman or Batman or whatever.
No. In fact, other than the fact that it's being published in a magazine, most manga stories, the ownership rights would be very similar to Dillard making his own comic.
Oh, that's interesting. Uh-oh. Okay, he says, because he was on Zig Comics and showed his style, he plans to add content. I think for the Buckler, if it reaches a higher tier and it's a different style, so he got to thinking. And I don't really know.
Here's a good question. Is that added content to the story that's being told, or is it like a short added at the end? Because if it's a short can be in a completely different style than the main story.
Yeah,
that's not a problem whatsoever.
Sometimes it's almost probably good at times because it differentiates.
Because it lets the reader instantly know that it's not part of what they just read.
Yeah. Although I've seen, what was it? Well, no, was that the movie one version? I think I seen a comic book version where they changed. It was a basic same style, but they changed art styles throughout it for like a Batman story.
Oh yeah, that's the Gotham Knight, I think was the name of it, or something like that.
Yeah.
In a different style.
So if there's a reason,
but that was done artistically. Yeah. If there's a reason.
I guess I'm just saying it's not unprecedented to be done, and sometimes it can work out very well. It's just, I think, something that you got to be careful on.
If it's more of the same story, it should probably be in the same style.
Yeah. Because although it was the same style, it was different parts of the same story for the one that
he says the new content would be in a short. Yeah, a short does not have to be the same. It could be a different style. And it's like we were saying, in some ways, it'd actually be beneficial to be in a different style because it creates a segment for the reader, like a partition. That going back, I know manga artists that do that. Yeah, the Bruce Timm style. I think we were talking about this too, me and him. Was it on your show, Rick? I think it might have been on your show. We were talking about this at some point in time.
Yeah. Oh, you probably talked about it a few different places at a few different times.
Yeah. Well, I think that we might have talked about this on Monday when he was doing the Buckler stuff here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't see a problem with that. Going back to manga, a lot of times there'll be like a short bit at the end of a chapter. Or even at the end of a volume if they want to add bonus stuff to the volume. And it'll be in like a more cartoony style than the actual main story. a lot. It would not be a detriment. Now, I understand the biggest thought process here and why you might be skeptical of it
Yeah.
is the style's quicker and it looks cheaper. And people might be wondering, was this worth the money of the stretch goal? Like, I get that. That's where the problem starts coming up.
Yeah. But I don't even think that's a problem because, say the Bruce Timm style, many people bought lots of, Batman Adventures and Superman Adventures and all that sort of thing, Justice League, United, and all that as comic books. So and a lot of people like that style now.
Well, the big thing all comes down to execution, right?
Yeah.
It could be easier to draw. He could draw it faster, but if he still executes it well, nobody's going to care.
Yeah. That's sort of my point. The only thing I think about Half-Life there, and maybe I'm overthinking it, is the crowd. They might be expecting one sort of art, but then again, it shows his diversity too, and how he can do stuff. Ultimately, I don't think it would hurt him.
Yeah, I'm definitely leaning against it being a detriment at all. Like, I could see where it could be, but I'm just not seeing it happening.
Yeah, same here.
Especially, like, looking from my perspective as a buyer, right? If I was buying something like that, and I knew it was a short at the end, no, I would not think down of it anything. I think it'd be cool that there's, like, a little bonus thing at the end.
Yeah, same here.
Wait, why would Mrs. Dillard need to join the cult of Dillard? I mean, she married into the last name, which isn't she already part of it? Oh, speaking of talking about Zelda, Nintendo just decided to tease me by emailing me a countdown timer for when Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity comes out.
Lovely. He says, "Thank you for your constructive feedback, and not Rooney feedback."
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, when I get a question like that too, I'm gonna try to ponder both sides of it.
Yeah, same here.
Oh shoot, I need to plug my phone in. Where's that charger?
This is
Here it is.
here. Let me put. Let's actually do that. Take a quick look.
Oh, she says, LOL, well, I technically have to join the Cult of Dillard as I have yet to officially change my maiden name. Ooh. Well, you know, I actually don't know what that process is, so I don't know if that is difficult or easy or whatever, so I'm not going to judge.
So, John is up to $2,587.
Hey! Rebel Gaming calls us weebs. I'll have you know I'm a man of culture.
Yeah.
Which is just a way of saying I don't want to be called a weeb, but I'm not going to deny it.
And for Fantasy Star, there's a little bit of an update, and of course for what's the name of it, Genshin.
Yeah, you're close, Genshin.
So yeah, he's up to $2,587. 5 digital, 29 regular, 10 graphic novels, or 10 of the $90, and 1 of the interior art. So, for anybody who's yet to, here is a link to.
So, LP, have you played Genshin since the update? And have you set yourself on fire and nearly died?
Well, I played it.
Rick, have you played since the update?
Yeah, I played it today earlier. No, I didn't set myself on fire. I didn't know you could.
Oh, he says it's not. So, oh, excuse me. Accidentally inhaled too hard. They rebalanced environmental effects because they're complaining, or people are complaining, that the environmental effects weren't scaling properly with your world level. The enemies weren't taking that much damage from, say, the grass being on fire or anything like that when you're at higher world levels. Now it's the same in world level 0, which is what you start, and it wouldn't have jumped that much for world level 1 anyway, which is what happens when you hit 20. The problem is, now that they rebalanced it, it does hurt enemies a lot. But it hurts you a lot too, more so than it's supposed to. And it is very easy to SD or self-destruct while accidentally setting the ground on fire.
That might be why. I might not have set myself on fire, but that might be why I seem to be taking more damage when you're using Diluc.
Yeah, because Diluc would be setting the ground on fire. I was doing that with Klee. Klee almost died. I threw a bomb, standing in it, like, why is my health ticking down so fast?
And I got, I did the wishes. I got one of the new characters today.
Oh, nice.
I forget which one, but offhand.
I didn't get a new character. All I got was stupid Razor. And I don't like him.
Yeah. Well, I also got an extra Barbara too, so somehow too it was in my mail or.
Oh, from the event. Yeah, if you're 20 or above, everybody got Barbara, or if you already had her, it just gave you the constellation piece for her.
Yeah. Oh, it gave me the constellation piece, yes.
Yeah.
Why don't you hate that when that happens? Why does he have hair on his tongue? It's not supposed to be hair. It's supposed to be shading.
Well, it's rendered like hair.
Hopefully, when I come back a bit. Does it still look like hair like that?
Oh, you know what? I need to change my settings. Because every single time Google Meet doesn't save my settings, I'm logging in with my Google account, and it always puts it back down to standard definition. I have to change it back to HD. Every time. Yeah, it still looks like hair. What pen do you use for hatching? Pen?
Oh, well, last night I was probably using. Well, you're not going to be able to see it. Well, I can make it so you can see it. So there's that.
Because it doesn't have to be your absolute thinnest, but you should be using a thinner pen for hatching than you are for your outline.
That's probably my thickest then. I'm not sure. Well, is that even hatching what I was doing?
Well, you definitely weren't spotting. I can tell you that.
I can erase all of that line stuff, so that's not too bad. Was he was he from the land of the lost? No.
No, but Lorenzo was in the chat above us. I don't know if he's still there. There's somebody from the land of the lost.
Yes, a Sleestak from the land of the lost.
Well, I thought he was an Altrusian that identified as a Sleestak.
Oh, okay, maybe. I forgot that he switched identities.
You gotta keep up on your lore, Rick. There's a lot going on.
Yes, there is.
So when will Rick be done coloring this picture? I don't know, Rick, are you ever truly done coloring a picture?
I think so sometimes. Hopefully I'll be done it tonight. At least the body. The only thing that I think I might not be done is maybe some sort of background.
Rebel Gaming says, I am Larry Sleestak. Oh! I thought you were a cute anime girl. Hey. You know, Larry just has a bunch of personas, man. He's everything.
He's cute, you know, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. He just woke up that way. It happens sometimes.
Yeah, Rebel goes Cult of the Sleestak. No, a pic I sent him. Oh! I'll get it done hopefully this weekend. If you want to see where it is, I haven't done much over the last day or so. But
Metal says you can't be cute because you are a Sleestak. Hey man, I'm not into Sleestaks, okay? Maybe some other Sleestak is, but I don't find Sleestaks cute.
yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how I want to make the water pop and all that. I'm gonna start.
Oh, he identifies as Altrusian. Even I was wrong on that. Lore.
He says, "Well, identify as Altrusian. My surname is Sleestak because I attempted to pass as one for a while." Well, just because you identify as an Altrusian, are you an Altrusian or are you something else? Yeah, my big thing is trying to figure out the water, how to make it pop, look like water. Because I don't think this looks like water at the moment, really.
Timothy identifies as a paperweight. Okay. I tend to not sit down on paper because it's a good way to ruin it.
We do have We do have the Slee Stacking show, which airs tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard on the channel.
Hey, it's Mallet.
Hey, Mallet. I gotta actually probably get myself some good pictures of the buckler for tomorrow.
Dillard was making fun of Xylo in the vomitorium earlier.
Yeah, I heard.
Oh yeah, you were in for that part. It's hard to tell, even when somebody comes in, if people aren't typing, and you know this too, whether somebody's still there or not.
Yeah. Then again, you know, he was giving me the punches too, so.
Yeah.
And then you just had to tell him I was there.
Lorenzo says he came out as Altrusian once during Pride Month.
Okay, so you were proud of being an Altrusian, but now you're not? You have to make up people's minds, especially your own.
No, dude, it's 2020. Nobody has to make up their mind about anything.
Oh, yeah, jerk. I mean, 1 year.
I think he said 1 year. I might have said it wrong and not paying attention to what I said, but he did say 1 year.
Yeah, he did say 1 year. No, he said 1 year during Pride Month. So he came out during Pride Month, but during that year.
During that year. Yeah. No, that makes grammatical sense.
Yeah. It's just not he didn't come up for the whole year, just, you know, like part of it. Timothy, 2020, the year no one was responsible for themselves. That sounds almost about right.
He says, if you give me the link, I'll explain it on air. Do you really want him to explain it on air, though?
Well, I think he might. Technically, I think he has the link, as we found out before.
He probably does.
If you've got the link in previous one, Lorenzo, that link that you have for the last time you were on, you can probably use.
I know he's not in Warriors 2.
Yeah. Well, I gave it to on the 27th. I gave it to him directly, so.
Okay.
I don't know whether it's the same one or not.
Let's see. He is in 1.2 as well. Let me see if that's the same one. Because apparently it just keeps using the. Nope, that one was a different one.
If not, I can. Well, I think I can actually add them into 2 now, because I think the person
who blocked him is gone now.
Yeah.
Oh, Cat's not in the group anymore, so.
Yeah. Well, there.
Are we really ready for Lorenzo to explain? That's what I'm asking, you know. To happen.
Well, I think you should be able to see. Yeah, you can see stuff when you get in the DM. I just added you to the Cross Comics 2 again, Lorenzo.
I kind of like this game of telephone here. Man, I still have this page up. They have quite a few World of Nintendo stuff for Zelda. I need to get some of this.
Oh, he just says he doesn't see the link.
Ah, that's the name of it. I found the thing I was talking about before.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
called World of Nintendo Microland. I'm gonna go send these things to.
Oh, no, that's the buckler. Link.
By
Okay.
Jack's Pacific.
Yeah, he can't scroll up and see anything in the group when he joins, eh? Okay, there's the link. Again. I thought you could. For some reason. Oh, does the buckler live in Microland? Laugh out loud.
No, he lives in Canada, which is one of the biggest lands.
Yeah.
It'd be like Macro Land. Isn't it like the second largest country after Russia?
Actually, I'm not sure. I think we the biggest now because we were
Russia keeps losing land, but I think it's
we were second biggest when the USSR was around, but once they became
no, I think it's still Russia.
Hey, Lorenzo.
Howdy. Gosh, I'm tired. I don't know if you could even explain this. We can try. So I think it was maybe last year. It was Pride Month, which I'm glad they set aside an entire month for us Altrusians to come out of the closet, and or to come out. Actually, I think the back come out of the pit where they throw us, where the sleeve stacks throw us.
Or the come out of the land of
I wasn't exactly in the pit. I was just kind of in the closet. I called myself Sleeve Stack, but didn't really work too well, except for with humans. Humans thought I was a Sleeve Stack, but the Altrusians knew the difference. And then the Sleeve Stacks knew I was an Altrusian, or sort of, were figuring it out. So I came out as Altrusian on what used to be called the Needle Mover Society stream, but
okay, yeah, Russia.
Skinny show.
Russia is bigger still, way bigger.
Yeah, you guys are actually barely bigger than us. We're in the same order of magnitude. You just have like, what is it, like 100,000 square kilometers on us?
Actually,
So
we got about 600,000 square kilometers right now.
So did you guys get what I was saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got about 100.
Well, yours says, unless it hasn't been updated in a while, yours is 9.9 million square kilometers, and ours is 9.8.
No, yours is 9.3 according to World Meters Info.
That's not the one I'm looking at.
Oh, are you trying to figure out whose country is bigger?
No, I know Canada's bigger. I was just looking at how much bigger it is.
Oh, I don't know if so it sounds like it's like in dispute about how big America is.
Yeah, there's a lot of dispute about how big America is.
Well, I think a lot of countries have kind of disputed borders.
Okay.
I wonder if that's the case.
Spend the next few days drawing your characters in an Among Us styles and taking requests, but do it digitally. Maybe. Yeah, well, and dependencies ranked by area. It has Russia first with like 17,000.
Or 17 million. Yeah, Russia's like really big compared to everyone.
Yeah, 17 million. Canada, then it's 9,984,672. Then China with
9.5.
9,706. 961, and then the US at 9,372,610.
See, the list I'm looking at looks completely different.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think all those countries probably have disputed territories. I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's probably what it comes down to. Because they are counting the area of your territories as well.
Timothy says Frogger looks like Reptile from Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Mallet says we have a dispute. Okay.
Disputed border with Canada.
Is Mallet still doing live streams? I don't think I've.
Yeah,
I don't think
he's on Twitch only
lately.
Yeah, but he is, but he's on Twitch strictly.
Oh, okay. That's why I'm not getting them on YouTube.
His streams are fun. I definitely recommend them. I go over there and watch.
Yeah, I used to watch them on YouTube. What's the topic of his streams? Is he streaming video games, or is he streaming like stuff he's making?
Yeah, stuff he's
He'll
making.
Occasionally game, but it's mostly crafting.
Yeah, woodworking mainly. Maybe.
That's really cool.
He's Mallet CNC Works over there. And I'm on Twitch too.
Okay.
He says he's big on Twitch.
Yeah, I don't actually have a Twitch account.
I would suggest getting one. So yeah, well, I guess there's a little bit in dispute for some sizes there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Okay, maybe it's this. It's listing total area, land plus water bodies, lakes, reserves, and rivers.
That could explain.
The land area is let's say Russia is 376,870 square kilometers. Canada, for land area, is actually less than the States, apparently.
Because you also have like, it's either you or Russia, but between you are close for most coast.
Yeah.
A country, just because most of you is bordering water.
Yeah.
Yeah, with some of these countries, I'd be afraid to even speculate about how big their country is, lest somebody get upset. Because some countries are real sensitive about that.
Well, I don't know why size is so much of a pride. I mean, maybe it's a leftover from the fact that the world used to be very, very imperial, and still kind of is to a bit.
Yeah, I know certain countries like to claim certain territories and get really, really upset if people get exclude,
like
what they feel is their territory or say it's independent or whatever.
Yeah, because China would try to claim Taiwan as part of it.
Well, I was trying to avoid mentioning that, but yeah, that's part of what I was talking about. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there were a couple of VTubers, virtual YouTubers.
Oh, yeah.
They got in trouble. They got suspended from their VTuber service for
their HoloLive.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Over that.
I have fallen down into HoloLive hell. So.
Mallet says.
Oh yeah, you have to. It's pretty trippy, pretty surreal.
Mallet says, Lorenzo, tell Rick how popular Sticky Art streams are. I've been to his streams, Sticky Arts, a few times.
Oh,
I wouldn't have denied that they're popular. He's got
that's a
thousands, if not millions, of subscribers. I forget.
They're the people from that channel had rated my chat in a very positive way, and I'm glad that they did. Not in a way where there's some other people who've rated my chat before in a not so friendly fashion. Though they did bring viewers, but Sticky Art, yeah. The guy running that channel is really nice.
Yeah, he comes by here every so often.
Oh, that's excellent. I mean, oh, so yes, that's great. Yeah, I'm happy he found my channel.
Lorenzo, are you going to become a VTuber?
Huh?
So you going to become a VTuber?
Yeah, I should become an anime girl.
Oh, I was gonna say,
no, I'm just joking. There are some guys who are anime girls on.
Yeah, just get your Sleestack model.
I wouldn't mind being like either Sleestack or something legally distinct, but still.
Yeah. Legally distinct. I like that term.
Yeah, but still kind of familiar, like some sort of lizard man. I'm not sure how that I'm kind of exist with the way that I'm drawn. I can only manifest myself in a two-dimensional form, which makes me wonder how I'm able to, like, say, drink coffee or anything, or use a computer.
Oh, Tim's like, wow, somehow Rick's show got good, and then Mallet's like, Tim, you need to watch other content. I agree with Mallet there.
What if they're both right? What if Rick's show did get good, and he needs to watch some other content as well sometimes?
Yeah.
Because Rick's not on 24/7. He's only on 20 hours a day.
Yeah, I think he's saying that he needs to watch other content to better calibrate the ruler in which he measures the goodness of the show by.
We could start out by watching the Sleestackians tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. And then you go over to after you're done, go over to the Drawn and Quarter and vote for me. For my drawing of the buckler.
Oh, if you're on there at the same time, what time does that start?
10.
Okay.
Mallet.
You can't make that promise for anyone but yourself. Even Evan, immediately afterwards, I guarantee nothing.
I missed whatever you said.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mallet just said if I do the Among Us thing, he won't troll me during it.
That's something that I can't figure out I can't figure out that game. I know there's at least one imposter, and then you got to figure out who the imposter or imposters are.
Yeah, by asking questions. It's just
I've never been able to.
It's just a new version of Clue, for lack of a better way of saying it. Just everybody's in spacesuits, in different colored spacesuits.
But do you get to beat somebody over the head with a candlestick?
No, you eat them instead.
Oh, okay. That's even better.
Or you, break their neck. There's a few different ways that people die. Honestly, I have, very, very little interest in the game whatsoever. I would never play it. But a stream drawing characters to try to make them look as limited as the Among Us little figures do, but also distinct enough that you can tell it's the character, would be a pretty fun challenge.
Oh, are you talking about Sticky Arts?
Yeah.
Yeah, the channel.
Everybody missed the punchline to your joke, Timothy.
And I shouldn't have said sticky. I mean, I meant apostrophe S. I know it's just sticky hard.
Now they're saying if I don't do what they want, they're gonna hold me hostage with a boycott. That almost makes me not want to do it. Don't
yeah. But Among Us is so popular right now that you could probably get some stray views just by having the name in your title.
Yeah. It's possible. I'm not going to say for sure because, when different movies have been on, I've put about drawing the characters from that movie, and as far as I know, nothing. So.
Okay, well, let me explain to you why that doesn't matter, right? Because movies do not coincide with internet culture, right? That's normie culture.
Yeah.
And you can't guarantee that the movie is going to draw an audience. You want to draw an audience, you have to look at the trends of internet culture. And right now, the playing of Among Us and everything around it, like saying blue is sus and stuff like that, which is sus is just short for suspect or suspicious. Those memes, that is internet culture right now, right? You have to look at how the trends are going.
Yeah.
What about doing a stream called Humans Are Sus?
Humans are sus. Yeah, don't wait till 6 months after people stop caring, Evan says.
Hey, Rick, I'm very proud of you to have some green representation on the screen, and not just me, but the Frogger character.
Well, nobody can see you.
Yeah, that's true.
What was I doing?
I agree with Travis. Evan's sus. Let's vote him out. He claims to have seen me in electrical, but you know what? I was doing tasks. Okay? I was doing tasks.
Also,
tasks.
Wear onesies while doing it. I do not have a onesies to do that. I don't think I have onesies.
Oh, they're always an admin. The suspicious person is always claiming to be an admin. It was Evan.
Wait, isn't a onesie like what like toddlers wear?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
And apparently, people who claim to be adults wear them now too.
Yeah, well,
really? When did that happen?
Oh, it was weird circulation because people used to wear things similar to onesies back in the day, right? Like the red pajama that go all the way down. You wear it under your clothes to keep warm. But now it's kind of like circled back around that adults are wearing it, like for the same reason. I think there's some type of I don't know, nostalgia pull or Arrested Development involved with it. I really haven't looked into it. Big internet culture thing.
Oh no, I'm scared to look into that.
Yeah, that's what Mallet said.
No, Rick, you're going to make us vomit. There are adult ones too. It's a big internet culture thing.
Is this like related to like the adult diaper?
No.
Like furry subculture?
No, that's a different thing.
No, I like actually just I think a tiny percentage of like furries.
There would probably be some crossover, but there's some crossover to everything.
Timothy says, kind of makes me wish a giant asteroid would hit the planet.
And just because you see a furry into something doesn't necessarily should avoid it, because honestly, furries probably like all of your favorite hobbies too.
No, well, I am a scaly. I can't even help it. I was born this way.
The problem is not the hobby; it's just the furries.
it's just like a small percentage of it's.
Exterminatus.
Well, it's like with the anime scene. There's people in the weird stuff there.
Yeah, those people that like that harem manga.
What manga?
Harem manga.
A harem.
I've never heard of harem. Well, I think I've heard of it, but
Yeah.
are there, does this really involve harems?
Not does, but not quite in the way that you think usually.
Well, in the technical way, because harem just means when multiple females are partnering with the same male. Definition of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I don't think they're necessarily partnering with, but they're all going after, right? Usually, it's like an Archie comic on steroids. But instead of Betty and Veronica going after Archie, you've got a couple other girls on Archie too.
Now, Travis asks, but aren't the weird people in the anime community the furries? Yes, but not all of them are the furries. There are more weird people in the anime community than just the furries.
No, there's some feud between certain furries and some certain anime fans, but there's overlap as well.
And Lorenzo, I say that jokingly about the harem manga.
Oh, the Archie thing, yeah.
Well, no, just the harem manga thing, because we're supposed to be writing one, or some people are, or whatever. I don't know.
You're writing a harem manga?
Yeah.
Well, at one point in time, this was a thing.
Well, this sounds interesting. So, like a bunch of women going after the Canadian Shield or something?
No, using a different one of my characters that I have no idea when he'll appear. His name's Piper.
What? Are you serious? Well, that's perfect. That's even better.
Evan says, Rick, read the chat in 6 months. What chat? This one? Timothy goes, laugh out loud, and Archie comic, laugh out loud. Where is page 3? I don't have it yet.
So is the character's name Rick Piper?
No, just Piper.
And it's based on a real, true story?
No. I'd be lucky to have
So
one
this
girl.
for the harem manga. What do you think that tongue is for?
I'd be lucky to have one girl coming after me.
What are you talking about? I thought that happens every day.
I wish.
Evan says he's still winning the harem manga battle, by the way. Actually, my money's still on Elric. I think Elric's going to win.
Yeah, I haven't drawn anything for it in a while or done anything, but then again, the deadline got moved back, so.
Did it? As far as I heard, it's still December 1st.
No, he moved it back to February.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Elric dropped out too?
Rick, you need to do more exercise. It's free. Yes, I do.
Yes, I agree.
I can't disagree with that. I need more exercise.
No, he just died. Elric's not dead. Didn't he just... We saw him in chat like the other day, right?
Yeah.
The Red Death. Ooh, that's the worst way to go.
What's that?
It was a... was it a poem or a short story? I don't remember if it was a sonnet or a short story.
Oh, Edgar Allan Poe?
Huh? Masquerade of the Red Death by Edgar Allan Poe, yeah. I think it's just a short story. And it was about like a ball going on and acting the Red Death, and basically blisters were popping, loading. It was an allegory for something. It's been a while since I've read it. I'm trying to remember.
Well, I'm sure that'll happen next year. That'll be the next new
Oh
thing.
no, he means Red Death as in Coca-Cola got him. Thought he's actually going to reference some high culture right there. Well, maybe I should have known better.
Yeah.
I thought he was an Egyptian mummy or something.
No, that's Evan. Not Elric.
Oh, okay, Elric. Must have misheard.
Well, you probably heard Evan talking about Elric.
Yeah.
Okay, Travis says at this point Evan wins because he keeps getting the date pushed back until everyone just says screws and drop out. Rick or Metal, I have an announcement, says Evan. And what is thy announcement, good sir?
Christmas children's story contest. Here's the goal. Make a better book than Todd. How are we going to judge this? In any contest. Pretty sure Todd hates him.
He hates contests?
Well, I don't know if he hates contests.
Todd doesn't have enough time for contests.
Yeah.
He's got a book to put out. That was funny the day that
Oh, that's still a work in progress then.
That was funny the day that I just kept burning him about that. Yeah, he's on Florida Man, Mallet. He's the artist on that. So, Rick, when does Among Us content start?
This is Dillard has a good
Next
question.
Monday?
Who would win a push-up challenge? John, Rick, Todd, or Mallet?
I'll say Mallet.
Yeah, my money's on Mallet.
I think I might be Todd. I'm not sure whether I'd beat John. John would probably actually beat me too.
So they just launched the campaign in August?
What, for Florida Man?
Yeah, I thought they were talking about. I thought I heard talk about that a long time ago from him, though.
Yeah.
Oh, her money's also on Todd.
Oh, you mean Mallet?
Oh yeah, sorry, Mallet. I don't know what's Todd. I'm blanking out.
I think Todd would come in last.
I'm pretty sure Todd would come in last. Yeah. I think Dillard would beat you.
Yes.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah, so do I.
So did they run a previous campaign for Florida Man?
Hey, John.
Howdy.
Talking about up in here.
Who was it? I think
It's his wife. His wife asked who would win in a push-up challenge.
Between who and who?
You, me,
Rick, Todd, or Mallet.
Me, Rick, Todd, or Mallet?
Yeah, my money was on Mallet.
yeah. Everybody's saying Mallet wins.
No, Mallet's gained a bunch of weight recently, and his body's not used to handling that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably me.
Yeah, my backup was you. I'm like, well, you would definitely beat Rick for sure.
Well, the thing is, I got T-Rex arms and I got a really strong chest.
Mm.
The push-ups and the benching hasn't ever been an issue for me. I've been able to do quite a bit. Like, if you want me to run a lap, I'm being last, but I'll probably be behind Rick.
Malice says, "Shut up, John."
It's like his body's hosting this foreign invasion of, blubber. That's what's happening. You try to get up, and all of a sudden you're out of breath. You don't know why. I'll tell you why. I'm used to it. I know why. You got up the wrong way. You got to get up like a fat guy. You got to do the whole rock back and then push forward.
Yeah, I don't know
Get
how.
up like you're a spry young chicken. Your body's gonna fight back.
I don't know how many I could do in a minute, Mrs. Dillard. Unfortunately, I'd probably be pooped after like 5 or 6. But I would keep forcing myself to go until at least Todd.
Well, I guarantee you would be absolutely pooped after 5 or 6. But a minute's a long time. The thing is, as long as you have to at least hold your weight up, you're never gonna get more push-ups than you would normally.
Yeah.
But if you could like lay on the floor and just put your arms out for a couple seconds, then you might be able to scamper up a few more push-ups. But if you got to hold yourself up the entire time, yeah, it doesn't matter if you take breaks or not. You're not going to get any more.
Yeah, because you're still supporting that weight.
So what else is going on? Other than you guys talking about how cool you are in comparison to each other?
Well, Metal wasn't in the contest.
Well, no, Metal is basically a bird. We assumed that he could fly away instead of push-up.
I've got like no weight, It's not hard for me to do push-ups.
It's like asking somebody like that to do a chin-up. It's like it's not really an issue.
Yeah.
So
Like it's impressive. Even when you see like bodybuilders that got a good weight on them do pull-ups, it's still very difficult.
Yeah. Because you're supporting your whole body weight.
Yeah, but if you're skinny, like my buddy Seth, he's one of those guys that's just like he was made for his job. He does like HVAC on like bigger sites. He just scampers through all those. He climbs inside. He's always the one they pick because he's little. Yeah. I think he's 6'1". He's an inch taller than me, except that he only weighs I think it's 125.
What's
like he is an absolute like crane. Like he is skinny. You can see his like when he walks in the room. Like the first thing that pops in the room is his Adam's apple.
Okay, what's the 2 or 3 of them, Mom? You're saying I could only do 2 or 3 push-ups in a minute? I know I can do more than that. I could get 5 or 6 in before I get.
Mom.
I could get 5 or 6 in before I got tucking out, and then I might rest a bit and get up, do another 1, 2 if I'm lucky.
So I was going around to everybody's channel on election day, and I was taking. I knew Biden was going to win. I was taking bets, and I was like, I was trying to bet all these big fat guys push-ups. Nobody wanted to take, as much as everybody loved Trump. Nobody wanted to take me up on a push-up bet.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, Biden hasn't won yet.
He's probably going to.
I still would have got that push-up.
Like there's a legal route to winning, but it's very unlikely.
Mallet says he has a medical condition that has limited his mobility.
Yes, a medical condition. It's called fat.
It's called DUI is what it's called.
Yeah.
It's called fat.
Yeah. He had to go everywhere on a bicycle because he had no car license. Marsupials.
Remember when Biden called that guy fat, the 80-year-old guy or whatever, and challenged him to push-ups?
I do not remember that. I want to see that.
Dude, everybody,
that was great.
Like everybody kept challenging Trump to push-ups too. Like Andrew Yang, he was a pretty young guy, was challenging Trump to like either a push-up or an arm wrestling contest. Like you're challenging like a 70-something-year-old man to a physical contest. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, the funny thing was Biden was around this guy's age and still apparently does push-ups.
That would have been funny to see. Though.
You know who could out push up Biden and Trump?
You?
Sanders.
I don't know. Maybe. That guy, he looks like he would just break if you tried to do any type of physical activity.
But you know what? Sanders is the kind of guy that would be 100% down to get on that floor and try.
Oh, he would. Yeah. Sanders push-ups for healthcare. And then he'll need the healthcare afterwards.
And Sanders probably got, I don't know how old Sanders is in comparison to Trump and Biden. But this guy is, he's just a firecracker. He just lives and breathes. Like
he's 79.
Yeah. That guy will run circles around you.
Travis says, now all I can think of is a doctor saying to some guy, I diagnosed you with fat.
Yep.
Oh, I might have to
Did they
prove
tell
it.
him Family Guy? Pretty sure they did.
So that guy Sanders, he has the twinkle in his eye. He got the eye of the tiger.
He certainly has a lot of energy, it seems.
The eye of the house cat.
Yeah, house cats too. Those things are dangerous.
They are. They're basically wild animals that you keep in your house.
Marsupio says, you know who could do more push-ups than all of them combined? And then he says, Henry Cavill.
Yeah. Fairly certain.
Mallet says, what style of push-ups are we talking about?
I don't know, probably like normal style push-up? Like a push-up is when you get on like in the planking position, right? When you on your toes and on your palms. And your palms are about maybe a little bit past shoulder width.
Yeah.
And then you go down and you come back up.
I usually start in the down position, go up, down, up, down, up, down.
You start in the down position? How lazy can you get, Rick?
Because I think that's smarter. That's how I think I was taught, too.
No, so you get in the ready position, and then going down and going up is one. Like when you start like that, you're like 1, and as soon as you go up, you go 1. No, that's cheating.
No, you're gonna come down for it to be flat.
But then that'd be a fall down, not a push up.
Well, you've got to push yourself up and then down. Yeah,
Sounds like you're doing them backwards.
Well, if you start
They do
up,
everything backwards in Canada.
hey, if you start up, you haven't pushed up. You're already up. How can that be?
So when you turn up, that's 1.
Yeah, but if you start from down and
Part
push,
of the work is going down the first time.
Mallet's claiming, he says you can't go all the way down.
Right angle push-ups. Okay.
Well, then I guess I guess it'd be easier. Then you go down a little bit and come back up, the way Mallet's doing it. You know, there used to be a name for those kinds of push-ups that we can't say anymore. The push-ups where you just go down a little bit and then come up real fast.
sissy push-ups.
Marsupio says, I could fall down many times, so long as somebody else is pushing me back up.
Yeah, well, see, there's the thing. You gotta push yourself back up.
Angle ones are harder if you have to hold it before you go back up, though.
What the hell's a right angle push-up?
That's where you have to hold yourself at where your elbows are at a right angle.
Oh, that's terrible. Those ones that burn out your triceps?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are awful. And I don't even think those are push-ups.
And then you go up all the way, and then you go back down to the right angle, then up all
Mallet says he don't care. He's going to IHOP for breakfast. Well, Mallet, you've earned it.
Got to keep your back straight the whole time.
Nah, my back's as crooked as a politician. I don't know. So what else are you doing, Rick? My wife was asking me, how come Rick doesn't do comic stuff anymore? Does he not want to do comics anymore?
What do you mean I don't do comic stuff?
And I was like, well, ask him. And then she started making pretend that I was asking you questions about the Canadian Shield.
a color comic a couple days a week if I have a page to color.
Yeah, she's just talking about you doing like, your own comic stuff.
Yeah, well, pretty much I do because this is my character that I did today. I drew it yesterday. The only day that I don't really do my comic character is usually on Monday. I do, I've been trying to do whoever's character, I'm going to have on that night.
Yeah.
You see, what I think, because I know this is the actually and technically channel over here. But what I think she means, Rick, is, you used to do your comic book. You would draw a page and then color it and talk about your comic book when it comes out and all that stuff, and you don't do that anymore.
Rick, do you have another comic book you're working on? Like a sequel?
Yeah.
That's what everybody's wondering, but Rick's just drawing frog people.
Well, let's just add some green representation.
I am Canadian Shield #2 is being drawn up, not by me, by another guy. Hopefully I can have him on in a few weeks or whatever. Maybe arrange it so he can come on.
I'm a bit confused by this. You're having somebody else draw your comic?
Yeah. I know I'm not the best artist. And so here, let me bring up a couple of things from it.
Who are you having draw your comic?
His name's Ephraim Crespo. I'm not sure how to pronounce it exactly.
I think he prefers to go by E.F. Crespo.
Well, that'll be interesting to when it comes in the show.
Yeah, well,
I don't know what the artwork looks like.
Yeah, well, I have gotten a couple pages and colored them actually on here.
Oh, really? I must not have tuned in then. I only catch some of your streams.
Yeah, well, give me a sec here.
Aren't you streaming like twice a day?
Yeah. I usually
okay.
bring up the 2 pages that I've colored.
Mallet CNC Works is telling Lorenzo, in response to Lorenzo saying it would be interesting to see, Mallet is saying, no, Lorenzo, it won't.
Yeah, I'm planning to. So there's page #2. Lorenzo. And there's page...
That's not the page that I colored.
No. Well, if you're not going to be coloring the whole book, John, then I've got to color it myself.
That's true. I guess we'll just have to wait and see if I color the whole book.
Well, this is very confusing.
Good. Her version of a soap opera.
I'm sure it will be.
It'll be equally confusing. But
Rick, you're falling for it. What am I falling for, Mrs. Dillard?
E.F. Crespo is actually somebody that we know. It's not some foreigner.
Yeah, he does live in the States.
Oh, we do know this guy?
Mm-hmm. He does
I
not.
didn't
He does
recognize
not.
his name.
He does not typically go by Crespo.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
How's the campaign, John? Let me go check. Let's see, the last I checked, it was at 2,500 and change, right?
Yeah. We had it up. I got it up right here. $2,587. Yeah.
I was wondering when you're going to plug your book.
Pardon?
I was trying to figure out when Diller was going to plug his book.
Yeah.
Why? Have you not backed the book yet? Oh man, I gotta plug my book now. Hold on. You guys gotta go and support me in my endeavor to make a comic book, or else I'm leaving this community and I'm never coming back. It's called The Buckler. It's on Indiegogo. Go
Yeah.
check it out.
And I
Pretty
got
cool.
it. I got it up right now so everybody can see it too.
Do you? Oh, there you go. Mallet is saying I need a Lorenzo tier.
You always need a Lorenzo tier.
That's basically 2 of the book.
And whatever ash cans or whatever.
There's 2 of everything.
Yeah, pretty much. Except for like if there's like a hand-drawn sketch or whatever, that would be getting kind of expensive to back 2 of.
Double your pleasure, double the fun.
Yeah, that works.
Bullet says the Slee Stack double.
So the artwork looks really good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I take a lot of time on it.
Yeah, you can actually
It's
get.
I'm sorry, Rick. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you can actually get the painting that he did of the cover. It's the most expensive tier, the $2,000 one.
Yeah, that kind of goes beyond my.
Price range?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Timothy says
Hey.
the Sleazy Stack double.
But I do have an original page from the was it the ash can
Uh-huh.
or I don't know if it was the ash can or what that was.
The ash can, it was part of the ash can.
Well, I think it was originally going to be like 4 pages, so I
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I had drawn out some finished pages, but those didn't actually get used in the ash can. Those were for like it was going to be a 4-page story. Because we were trying to figure out exactly how little we could contribute to Rick's campaign, and we were trying to get an entire story in 4 pages.
yeah, I didn't even know if that was even going to be part of the campaign because I remember. I remember Rick was kind of. I remember him saying that it was kind of like different than his idea for the Canadian Shield, so I didn't know if he was going to endorse that or not.
Let's see. Mallet is
No,
saying
I
that
guess
Bullet
it's
is
been altered,
drawing and
isn't it?
inking the ash can. I'm sorry?
Well, it's an alternate universe.
Yeah.
The
From-
Buckler?
Yeah, it's like an alternate universe
Yes.
and with. Okay.
I don't know how many of the other Cross Comics characters are in the Bucklerverse. Or the Curse Comics
The
verse.
Bucklerverse, I like that.
As of right now, no other characters are in the Bucklerverse because Rick holds onto his characters very tightly.
That's what it sounded like. At first, I thought you were charging Rick for a book that contained a bunch of his characters. and it turns out that it doesn't really contain any of his characters that he himself came up with. Is what it sounds like for this particular book.
No.
The Buckler was all your idea, wasn't it?
Yes.
And then I think after that, Rick was like, "Oh, maybe that might not be a bad idea for a sidekick."
No,
Yeah,
no.
but then he created a different character called the Buckler that doesn't look like this at all, and has a completely different origin story.
Yeah. And mine's
I see.
mine's more. Well, he's a villain or a wannabe hero.
I wonder where you got that from.
Yeah, yes. Where'd you get the name? That's kind of interesting.
Well, I tried to keep some aspects the same, you know.
Because I told him, this is what I told Rick. I told him, Rick, if you want to use the Buckler, just use the Buckler. I don't care. I'm not going to charge you anything. I'll come with my own buckler. Okay.
Oh no.
Mallet says, John, you could use my sole main character.
Well, Xylo's in the book already.
Mallet's got a character?
Yeah, his character's name is Xylo. Do you want to see the page that Xylo's on? Hold on, let me.
Oh yeah.
see.
Xylo, like
Pull it up.
xylophone?
Yes, exactly. Spelled the same way. XYLO.
Is he made out of a xylophone? Like his body for xylophone?
No, he has the powers of harmonic alchemy.
Oh, that's interesting.
I
I've
think
never
at one
even
point
heard of
his
that
mask
before.
was a xylophone.
Say what now?
Is it like at one point with the early drawing, his mask was like a xylophone though, or something like that?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I saw
again,
a human a second ago. I hope that never happens ever again in my life.
oh, Mallet said, I mean, if you need him more.
Okay, so let me. Here we go. I got the page pulled up. Let me share my screen. Let's see. Go to Google Meets. Present. Awinda. There we go. Share. Okay, so this Joker here on the bottom. This is Xylo. He wears a nice long duster coat. He wears a Hispanic style Guayabera shirt underneath it, and he smokes cigars heavily. And he has a pencil thin mustache.
Mallet says he's basically a Benedict Arnold immortal. And that's Miss Maple there with Cat's character.
Yep. On this page, there's only one character that's mine, and that's this guy right here.
So you got all these other characters in there, but no Canadian Shield.
Right. See, Rick won't let me use his character because in order for his character to work in this universe, he has to get severely depowered.
I said you could
Rick will
use...
not go for that.
That's a lie. I already said you could.
Like, essentially, Rick's character is a world breaker, right?
Yeah.
Like, he can essentially punch the ground and the earth shatters in twain. I can't have that in this world.
You can't have a character that lodges a log into outer space.
I cannot. I cannot get a character that uproots a grand old oak and chucks it into space.
Oh, it was an oak. Okay.
Well, I don't think I've ever established what type of tree it was, but he's using oak.
Well, according to the way that Rick drew the tree, apparently it's a Tom and Jerry tree.
I did an estimate on how strong that feat is, and no, you can't have him in your world. It wouldn't work.
Now, Miss Maple, her powers are more, I guess, reasonable. Like, she can control wind. Not snow or lightning or anything, but just wind. She can use that. She can manipulate it with such precision that she can attach her cape to her wrists with some bracelets and use that to lift and fly herself places. And she can also create small, like, cyclone tornadoes. Like, she can aim it horizontally. Like, for instance, in this book, there's a spot in this book where there's a bridge, and she pushes a cyclone through the middle of the bridge to push people away from the center of it.
All things Cat does in her life.
Mallet says he modeled Xylo after John. He is a French-Canadian Latino.
Yeah, he is. He's supposed to have a Latin flair, which is why his eyebrows are so thick. So there's Xylo.
And I can't do the close-ups of the characters, Timothy. Only John can do that.
What?
So, if it's a different universe, then couldn't the buckler just be of whatever power you make him?
You can't look at this Buckler diary. That's not ready yet.
I mean, wouldn't a character be a different power level if they were in a different universe?
I mean, it could be, but even in this universe, because this universe does have a version of the Canadian Shield.
Yeah, because that's been established with the Ashcan.
Right. But even that version itself, it's already overpowered.
Yeah, because that's closer to like Hancock, right?
I'm not sure actually.
Because even somebody like Hancock's power level would do the buckler quite a number.
Travis says, so basically the Bucklerverse tries to focus on street level heroes. Meanwhile, in the Cross Comics verse, has people who wipe out nations on a bad day.
Yeah, all of Cross's characters are more like like cosmic level powers.
So if the Canadian Shield farts, does he destroy the entire universe?
It's
No.
quite possible, yes.
Well, no, because he doesn't have the powers, the suit, right? So the suit would just get rid of the fart. It wouldn't amplify it.
Yeah.
It would trap it and guide it towards his chest area, so it comes out just under the nose.
Oh, so I forgot. It's kind of like the Greatest American Hero, where the suit gives him the power, or
Yeah, like an Iron Man, I guess.
Yeah.
oh yeah. So you could just have him without the suit. I mean, he'd be really tall, but
Oh no, Rick says that he would never take off his suit, not even to go to the bathroom, because I would say, well, he would just catch him in the bathroom when he's taking a dump and just beat him up, and he'd say, no, he doesn't take the suit off even to go to the bathroom.
what if when he's having sex or something?
He doesn't. This is a Christian comic,
Oh,
and he's not married.
well, there goes that idea.
Beans,
I don't
and musical depth.
But you see the logistical problems that I had, the hoops I have to jump through to kind of get the shield into the book. It's not easy.
Yeah, this could be definitely a problem.
Although he's making up some of this, I said he can have them. We in there.
Yeah, but you said I can't do what I need to do.
I never said that. I may have hummed and hawed a little, but
What if his suit was abducted by aliens?
Hummed and hawed.
I forget exactly what I did, but basically I said if you want to use them, you can. And I never gave
And
you
then I
any.
gave you a scenario where he was, tricked. He was put in positions where he couldn't take him out easily. And you didn't like it. And these are like very reasonable things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he was gonna hold like a somebody hostage, so the shield couldn't do anything, and then he would just punch the shield, and you say, "Oh, it wouldn't really hurt the shield, would it?" I'm like, okay, well,
Well, that's going based on, my levels or whatever of the shield, Like I
Can there be
said,
like a Samson type situation where, like a he gets married and then his wife convinces him to take off his suit so they can
he's gonna take off
have
his,
relations?
he's going to
Something
take
like
off the suit, Lorenzo. Yes, probably for
so
the
what I did, right, in order to curtail all this nonsense and get around it, so to speak, is I just upped the buckler's powers. So now the buckler is god level when he has his antlers, and can just wreck the shield at his whim. That way it'll work in the book.
Oh, but I thought you didn't have the shield in this book.
No, the shield is not in this book, in the next book.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were doing the one before.
That's not going to be a graphic novel, it's just going to be a floppy.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a one-shot. It'll probably be a little longer than a floppy, but it'll be a one-shot.
Mr. Dillon says Rick has made special allowances for John, but very strict ones, and only for a profit.
Very, very strict special allowances. Like, why can't I just put the Canadian Shield in a pretty pink dress?
Yes, you could.
Because that's the
No.
only time he ever takes off his costume is so that he can dress up like a woman.
You know, one thing that I know Preston is very controversial, and I even got a little nervous mentioning his name on air because I know a lot of people don't like him. But one of the ideas he had for his Comics Gate TM was the idea that people could use different characters. And but it wasn't the first person to come up with it. Wasn't there like Comics Gate stuff where people actually like books where there were like crossovers?
Oh yeah, everybody likes doing crossovers.
Yeah. So I'm really glad to hear that there's more
No,
of that.
I think it's always been like the prospect of a crossover was always more interesting than the actual crossover when it happened.
Always, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like, oh man, I wonder how cool it would be when the Simpsons cross over with like Futurama. It's not very interesting at all, actually.
There was that Saturday morning All Stars to the Rescue or whatever that was called, and back in the
I don't know. I
90s,
remember
that
like
was disappointing.
Flintstones meets the Jetsons,
Oh yeah,
and that was no good either.
I do remember that one.
Because the problem is because you have to try to fulfill both audiences, right? So you have to do a little bit of what both things do, and because of that, it's not as good as if you just went full on with one or the other.
Yeah, and no matter what, people won't enjoy just the interactions. They want some sort of a competition, and they want their show to come out on top
Yeah, yeah.
in said competition.
Or most of the time when they throw it together, it's not for a good narrative reason, right? They'll just throw any two people together
Mm-hmm.
and not be like, oh, wouldn't it actually be cool if these had to use their different talents in tandem to solve a complicated problem?
I think Bullet
Which would
puts
be a good story. Nobody does it.
Bullet puts one in the thing. Scooby Doo meets Batman.
Oh, you know what? Never mind. Those are always great. Yeah.
Okay, Travis says seriously, the Shield without the suit is like Kingpin level, so it's not like he still couldn't. It couldn't go in the Shield's favor. First along, he's not a dumb brawler. Sure, he's not a dumb brawler. I'm not sure whether he beat Kingpin level without the suit. I'm not sure how strong Kingpin is.
Well, what level of strength would he be without the suit?
I think he'd be stronger than most people today, for sure. I'm just not sure what Kingpin's level of strength is. Because he's from.
Well, didn't they have some sort of? I know. I think I used to own it. It was like some sort of a compendium of the powers, and they had like a power ranking from 1 to 10 type deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the Marvel character universe. Let's go see if we can find that.
And you have to read a key to actually decipher what that power ranking means. It's not like obvious.
Let's see here. The Kingpin possesses the level of peak human strength with intensive exercises. As Olympic weightlifter, he can lift or press approximately 650 pounds. However, he is virtually as strong as it is possible for a man to be without being strictly classified as superhuman.
Which is bull if you've actually seen him do superhuman things in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But with that, if it's not, then the Shield would be Kingpin level. For sure. But like Mallet says, we've seen him do better feats than that, I'd say, in the comics. So, actually,
no, the shield has to be like 600 pounds.
Yeah.
So how tall is the Canadian Shield, and how much does he weigh?
He is 8 foot, and he is around 600 pounds, maybe a little bit more.
Good God, that's way beyond peak physical human strength, Rick.
Yeah.
He's 8 feet and 600 pounds. That's basically the strength of 3 men. Let's see. What's 8 foot? What's 8 foot and 600 pounds? A really skinny grizzly bear?
Yeah.
So, allowances due to size and weight favor of the shield. Yeah, well, the shield might have a little bit more fighting knowledge and all that. It's hard to say whether he'd have more fighting knowledge than the buckler. He's been tracking stuff and all that probably all his life, till he
So
came.
wouldn't that mean that he had more tracking knowledge?
Yeah, well, fighting animals too, or
Well,
whatever.
the buckler has gone through intensive torture for 4 years, being trained by a professional boxer.
Yeah.
Being skilled in the buckler.
Okay, never mind.
What
Shield
kind of
without a
animal
suit
did he
is still
fight?
broken. That means if he was somehow the weakling, he'd never be capable of lifting over half a ton. I'm not committing to too much because I've not really thought about it. So, because it was even just a couple months ago that Mallet pointed out to me that approximately what weight he would be actually with that strength and being built like a brick house, a brick wall, or whatever you want to say.
Like the buckler has a strength. Like if you were driving in like a 1984 Lincoln Mark IV, and you were honking at him in the street, he could kick the front of your car and turn the car like 45 degrees.
Okay, Travis says, because even a weaker person can lift around double their weight at max. Okay, well then, I guess he can lift, over half a pound, or half a ton.
Yeah.
Without even the suit on.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're saying Buckler's closer to TV Jessica Jones strength.
I haven't watched that.
Not
Jessica
quite,
Jones.
but closer. Yeah.
I watched the
Well, she
Daredevil
held it.
show.
Would they be like the Hulk?
She stopped a car from moving, from starting up, not from while it was still going.
Would that be kind of like the Hulk then?
No, he'd be weaker than the Hulk by far.
Okay. What if the Canadian Shield is going to baptize someone and takes it off, or is going to be baptized?
The buckler is basically like MCU version of Captain America.
Okay.
He can run very fast. He can keep up with even a car at slow speeds. He can jump high. He can jump if you as a human athlete can get like a 3-foot vertical leap. The buckler can do 9 feet.
The suit comes off and evil buckler steals it. Yeah, well,
I like that.
well, I do have in my timeline that the suit is actually going to get stolen by my version of the buckler before he becomes the buckler.
So basically, Rick's version of the buckler is almost as strong as the Canadian Shield because it's the suit.
I like the fact that so he's 8 foot tall, so everybody knows who the hell he is. Nobody's as tall as he is, and yet he just to be even more menacing, he wears a mask.
Well, that's part of the suit, right? He needs it, or else his head would get broken if somebody punched it.
I see. I just thought it was just to scare the crap out of people,
No.
which he would already be scary enough.
There's going to be a lot of times I'm hoping, within, before he actually starts wearing regular clothes, that, he's going to be walking around without the mask on. He'll, have it in his hand or whatever, or something like that, walking down the street or...
Yeah, like for instance here, like the buckler's getting up and pushing these people off of him, but because he's doing it with all his strength, he gets up and pushes them off. Some of them actually go into the air.
Yeah.
As they'll get about 6-7 feet off the ground, but or maybe whatever. But they're not going to be going into space anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, that'd probably be the same thing with. I'm thinking maybe with the the Manly Cougar, outside of the suit. I can see that, yeah. Or a couple feet, anyways. Maybe not 7 feet. I'm not sure. You've probably given this more thought than me.
So is his mask like a form of armor?
Pardon?
So is his mask like a form of type of armor then?
The whole suit is.
Oh, okay.
The suit protects him from, like, if you read you haven't read your comic yet, or I'm not sure, have you? Protects him from, like bullets, getting punched. He doesn't feel anything from them, really. Does no damage to him, like a grenade can go off right at his foot.
Have you ever read the comic book Empowered?
I don't think so.
It's like she gets this suit. It's almost like it's very skin tight, like a Venom symbiote type deal. But she makes her super powered. But as soon as the suit gets a rip, then all of a sudden her powers start decreasing exponentially.
Would that happen to Canadian Shield if something happened to his suit?
But I don't think his suit can get ripped. That's the other issue. I don't know.
No.
Because it would be really cool if you had like an image where he's in the middle of a battle and stuff, and his suit was all tore up. But I don't even think his suit gets tore up.
Did God make his suit?
No, it's made by humans.
No,
But
Canadians did.
In the future.
Future Canadians.
Did God make that in the future?
No, God didn't.
No, God stole the suit and gave it to the Canadian Shield.
What? God stole a suit?
Look, I didn't write it. All right.
That's like isn't that what
Well, you can say
did with steal a suit from and.
Hey, the world is God's and everything therein. So can you really steal it?
Wow. Is that in the comic book?
What?
Yes, it is.
Okay, well I'm gonna have to read that right away.
It's not quite put that way in there, but Timothy said, I always thought the buckler would be for the Canadian Shield what the Joker was for Batman. So the suit is worthless. No. The suit, enhances everything and then gives protection, from a lot of different stuff. Well, pretty much everything.
From flaming hot magma?
Yeah. Ice cold coldness. Ice cold coldness.
Oh, I saw that episode of Futurama, the penguin one. I saw that today, where Bender gets thrown into that water in the Antarctic, all that ice water. He's like, God, what is this water made out of? Ice.
So does the Canadian Shield have any limitations? Like Superman's got kryptonite.
Yeah.
No, he does not.
Well, he probably is going to eventually. I don't know what they are offhand. Kryptonite wasn't.
You have to be white kryptonite.
Kryptonite wasn't even developed for Superman when the first issue was written. So it didn't come along until 3 or 4 years later. In fact, I don't think it was developed till the radio show introduced it.
Yeah, it was developed because Superman was too strong and they needed something to make it more interesting.
Yeah. They realized their mistake and they corrected it. But you're just starting off already knowing it's a mistake and you don't want to correct it.
I never said I don't. I just said I don't know what it's going to be yet.
Well, I think it'll make the character a little more relatable, or a lot more relatable when he's got some sort of whatever his equivalent to kryptonite. And I'm not saying come up with the same exact thing and call it something different.
Yeah. And again, it's not like, as I've said,
Some sort of limitation.
He to have the powers, he has to be wearing the suit, right? So
I got it. I got the answer. There's a villain called the Mothman, and he makes holes in the suit.
Well, I like the idea, like, that there's these different kinds of syrup. And what was it? Was it blueberry syrup made him pass out? Was that they came up with on Manny's show?
Different types of syrups have different effects.
Yeah.
That would be great. I would love that.
But I don't think Rick really liked that idea.
He doesn't like anything about the syrup idea.
Because the Canadian Shield was powered by syrup, like maple syrup, I think.
I think originally that was canon, yes.
no, never. And I don't know what sin he's going to struggle with yet.
Yeah, because you got a fun character. It's just, limitation. You don't have to come up with it now, but it's your character. You can do what you want, but I think that would make him a little more relatable.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
I'm seeing this now. We now read the comic though, so
yeah. Like I said, one thing.
Well, doesn't there always some kind of covenant that has to happen with God in order for you to get extraordinary abilities?
Not necessarily.
unless God steals the suit.
The suit, yeah.
I can't say. I wouldn't say so. Yeah, you have Samson having to be a Nazarene, but you also have Elijah. He didn't have to do anything special to basically have the power to say when it would rain or whatever. In Israel for like 6 or 7 years or whatever it was. So
I don't know.
Timothy says, "Wait, how about if he leaves Canada, he gets weaker?" That although it does have promise, the suits from the future, so any quote unquote limitations that would have been put on that would have been in the future, and I don't think they would have did that because they were probably planning on using him for more than just local stuff, Canadian.
Well, what if in the future Canada took over the world?
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't sound like
Plausible.
there's any way that the Canadian Shield could be depowered.
Well, like I said, if he's not in the suit, he has no power either. So
but he's always in the suit.
No, he's not.
I do like that moth idea. Because the suit.
I've never said that he's always going to be in the suit, John. I've just said that when he first gets it, till he meets up with somebody that he's gonna have as a traveling companion or partner, however you want to say it. Yeah, he's going to be in the suit. Always.
I believe they call them life partners now, Rick.
No, they're not life partners.
Yeah, but Rick, you also said that based on time, the Buckler would have to meet the Canadian Shield like way later.
Yeah.
Into his career anyway, so it would be around a time that he would be taking the suit off for reasons.
Yeah.
What does the Canadian Shield wear when not in his suit? A turtleneck? A sleeveless trench coat?
Does he still wear his loincloth?
Doesn't he have to wash the suit? Wouldn't it get really smelly if he kept wearing it? Or
Yeah, we're talking 8 feet, 600 pounds of humanity moving and sweating. Basically a rhinoceros.
Yes, I know he's not God, Mrs. Dillon, and he has to have you involved.
No, I've seen a show called My 600-Pound Life. These people are not the cleanest people in the world.
I also like where Travis's head is at here. He has to rest on the day of the Sabbath, so he can't wear the suit on Sundays.
Oh, that's the day he's gonna get his ass whooped.
He has to rest. Doesn't mean he has to take the suit off.
Oh, that's his work uniform.
Yeah, we don't. Protestants don't really go on by that stuff.
What if he became an Orthodox Jew?
Oh, then it'd be Saturday.
Yeah. Well,
I think that God would stop talking to him altogether.
Yeah.
And then he couldn't even I think turn the lights on. Would have. So I don't know if he'd be able to wear the suit.
Well, first he'd have to go and see a rabbi about getting the tip of his carrot chopped off.
Yeah, there's some pretty reasonable restrictions, like, you can't walk more than you would normally walk to go do something normal. You can't do anything extracurricular. You could do your normal stuff, like go and get the mail or take a drive to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Fill in for somebody who called off,
Well, go ahead.
Well, there are some Jewish people who they have certain stoves that start cooking at a certain time because they're
crazy. Yeah, I know.
Like it has a timer on there, I think, or something.
There is a possibility with Mrs. Dillard. She puts, "I hope Pete the King and she obeys this." So yeah, he does. So maybe he's going to be taking off in that time he's having a bath, in some river or whatever, or in some lake.
It doesn't really matter. He's not very smart. So the buckler's just going to call him out and tell him that he's not even a real man without his fancy suit, and he's going to take the suit off to prove a point, and they're just going to go at it.
The Shield isn't that dumb.
I've read the Shield. Yes, he is.
Are you insinuating the sin that he deals with is pride?
Mm-hmm. It has to be. Everything just comes easy for this guy. He was born 8 years old and 40 pounds.
Yeah. Everything comes easy for him. He's ostracized by all of society in his time. Basically a lone wolf. Yeah, that's, easy.
Well, of course it's easy. All he has to do is walk up and punch a moose and break his neck, and all of a sudden he has food for half a year.
So people, because they think he's a freak or whatever, they don't want to hang out with him. Is that the deal?
Well, no, because he comes to Christ, his Indian tribe.
Not because he's 8 feet tall?
Pardon?
It has nothing to do with him being 8 feet tall?
No. Before he comes to Christ, in his tribe, he's well respected and all that, but as soon as he comes to Christ, shortly thereafter, he's ostracized by, his tribe, and then because, he's Native American, or Canadian, however you want to say it, he's ostracized by the whites, or whatever, however you want to say it back then.
Well, he's clearly a Nephilim. I mean, why else is he that tall?
When does this take place, then?
Well, early 1800s is when he's from. So, probably it's between 1800 and 1825 is when he gets transported from.
Critical hit with a really smooth stone. Could I take the shield out? Because that's how the Bible taught me you take out giants.
So was this before the missionaries had?
No, he actually. I know it's going to be through a traveling missionary that he gets saved. I know that.
Oh, but the rest of the tribe hadn't converted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the tribe kicks him out because he found this traveling missionary and just converted to this white man's religion. And even though they're currently slaughtering all of his people, so they're not
I wouldn't say they're slaughtering all his people here in Canada, from what I know. But, because of a difference of opinion, for lack of a better way of saying it.
According to the newspapers I'm reading,
Uh,
there's
d-
there's
d-
there's a lot of, there's a lot of
uh,
accusations going on.
let's see. Mrs. Dillard says, "Does the Shield still struggle with his Native American belief? Does he have false idols? Does he allow himself to be idolized?" Well, I'm not sure on most of that. For the being idolized, I haven't gotten to that point in the story. Obviously, he's not going to allow people. He'll tell people not to idolize him. Well, in the fact of
What
worshiping.
about somebody like in their house and they just?
But
What if they get like somebody in their house and they're
but he
in
can't.
secret?
Yeah, well, he can't stop somebody from doing it in secret or whatever, even in public. All he can say is not to. Don't idolize him.
All that Haile Selassie did was visit Jamaica and people started worshiping him.
Who, John of God?
I'm talking about Haile Selassie. He visited Jamaica like in the 60s and all these Rastafarians started worshiping him.
Well, yeah. Timothy, I am
going Rastafari comes from his old, that means Duke Tafari, back when he was a duke and before he changed his name when he became emperor.
Yeah, see,
when he became emperor, he took on the name Haile Selassie, meaning power of the Trinity.
See, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying that he called himself Power of the Trinity. People misunderstood that. They thought that he was called Power of the Trinity because he was like a reincarnation of Jesus or something kind of along those lines. So as you could see, it'd be, especially in the 1800s, they could see somebody sees this person who can launch a tree into space, and they're going to start worshiping him.
Yeah. Well, see, nobody's around to see that.
I like Val. This is how you draw the shield out too. Zylo's going to construct a golden statue of the shield in Winnipeg.
Okay.
Another possibility is people might think he's the Antichrist.
Yeah.
Or an evil spirit or something.
Yeah. To address a couple things Timothy said, the Shield would respond that the Buckler was not a real hero. In my universe, the Shield wouldn't have done that to the Buckler, the Canadian Buckler, the way he did, what he said or how he said it. I can't say offhand exactly how he would have dealt with it, but it would have been different. And as for figuring it all out, I am. But, I'm not going to say something I don't know when I don't know it.
They'd probably try to burn him for being a witch or warlock or whatever they call male witches.
I'm telling you, you don't burn Nephilim, you throw rocks at them.
That's true.
Yeah.
Or whatever Goliath was. Yeah, because I always wondered if maybe he was Nephilim, but then was it? But like, didn't the Bible say he was like a Philistine?
Yeah.
Or was that his culture?
Philistine is a people.
Yeah.
Nephilim is like a race. It's like being
like the Filistinos.
And the Canadian man like Cougar is not perfect, Mrs. Dillard. I just haven't figured out, everything about him. I haven't written his life history.
We're kind of people won't think that we're just like
check the chat.
Pooping all over your character or anything.
Okay, what was that, Metal?
Check the general chat of your Discord.
describe him. This is basically stuff I need to figure out. Yeah, I know I need to figure out.
This is basic stuff you need to figure out of basically any character that you're making.
Yeah.
What is?
Oh, this old thing I've had on my computer that helps with writing. I send it to people when they don't know where to start with a character, and it's a how well do you know your character? And it's got things for like characteristics, which under there is its greatest strength, greatest weakness, greatest fear, interests, expressions, outlook, physical appearance, background. Just basic questions you should be answering to know a character well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Rick doesn't know any of those.
So Rick, don't you?
Well, I know his height, weight, posture. I know what he looks like. I know what he's worn before.
No, not his statistics, physical statistics.
Hey, that's part of
on the
it.
list. That's one of the 6 categories, but there are 5 other categories.
Like I asked them, okay, look, I'm looking at it right now. The physical appearance. Rick, what clothes does he wear when he's not wearing the costume? He didn't give me an answer. He didn't know. What are you talking about? He knows about his physical appearance.
Well, I know how tall he is and all that. I know what he looks like. I know what he wore before. He came to our time. But I don't know what he's going to wear exactly for sure when. I know what I think he might be wearing when. But I'm not going to say 100%.
Well, what is it?
He's probably going to be a jeans and t-shirt guy. But I don't know that 100% for sure yet because I haven't gotten that.
I would assume he's more of like a a tank top and shorts guy just because of how big he is, and it'd be closer to the stuff he wore before.
Yeah.
No, he would look like those guys from like the Gen 13 books when they're sitting at like a diner eating like eggs and whatever, and their like jeans are skin tight and the white t-shirts like just ripping from every part of his like muscles.
So he's going to be transported to the future?
Well, he's in our time. Our time. He's transported to our time from the 1800s.
Yeah, the costume that he wears is from the future, not him. He's from the past.
Yeah. Okay, so he starts out in the 1800s, and his tribe rejects him, but then he gets transported to our time?
Yeah. Not right.
Oh, that might kind of solve the problem of people discriminating against him.
Yeah.
So he no longer has that vulnerability or whatever.
Right.
A challenge.
Well, they are trying to put a pipeline through his people's property.
Yeah, that's what I think I was thinking. That's yeah. What's there's
and yeah, I know where he's going to live. I know he's going to eventually live in Hamilton. He's taking a walkabout because he has to get there. Well, I guess he could fly, but he's walking. He's taking his time. Yeah, the Canadian.
You mean like an airplane, or
no? The Canadian Shield can fly. Okay, what does he do for a living? I'm not quite sure yet what he's going to do. What does he know? I know a little bit, like tracking and that sort of stuff.
So it sounds like he's got kind of similar but legally distinct from the Greatest American Hero, and that the suit allows him to fly and gives him some other, and kind of like Iron Man's suit in a way too, and that's provides.
Mrs. Jill, says maybe he's shy around girls, but dreams of getting married. Yeah. I see him as a lumberjack guy with the fringe leather jacket. He wants to find his shieldette. Yeah, that's possibly stuff that can figure into it.
I could totally see him wearing flannel.
I know a little. I know what he believes in. Basically, the God of the Bible. Yeah. The specificness is, the nuances of that can be, fleshed out over time, or can change over time. Yeah, I know? Do it.
One way to solve this, and it's the only way Rick knows how. Canadian Shield casual wear fan art contest.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
It's not the only way, but yeah, it would be nice. I guess we could do that.
I'm gonna put him in a '70s style leisure suit with a big collar.
Oh, that'd be cool.
In that, if it was a contest, then Rick could decide which one he liked.
Yeah. Although it'll probably end up being a straw poll to see who the winner is, because that's usually the way they'll let the.
Yeah, but in order for that to even work, you would have to 100% commit to whatever they chose. You can't pull a Piper on us.
And those,
yeah, you might as well just go with the one you like the most.
Can easily be rigged.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what I would never go with. Who won? Because you never know what you guys are going to do.
You could have a panel of judges of people who aren't participating. You and like 2 other people that agree on it.
No, it has to be Rick by himself choosing, because he has to do whichever one he picks.
Yeah.
It's not like there's going to be a winner, but then that winner doesn't get to be the outfit. That doesn't make any sense at all. It has to be the winner is the outfit. So it has to be Rick picking, because he's going to be the one forced to doing it.
This could generate.
I
have to go on a campaign to make sure that nobody else enters except for me.
Generate even more publicity for the Canadian Shield.
Yeah. I'll admit I don't know what his greatest strengths or weaknesses are yet. Or his greatest fear. I don't know his favorite movie, song, or book. Yet. Heck, he doesn't even know what a movie is yet. I don't know what his political leanings are. Best gift.
I thought you had like the first 7 books written or something, because I thought I saw like several books, maybe not 7, but on the Facebook. Yeah,
I have like I think 8 issues written of the Canadian Shield.
Oh, 8? Okay, so I was pretty close.
Yeah. But
I know it may seem like I'm not interested in it, because I haven't gotten around to reading the book, but I have tried to.
Timothy says, "Wait, what does a buckler look like in casual wear?"
Oh, he wears short Dockers and Wayavetta t-shirts, or sleeveless, short sleeve shirts.
He also says, "Note to self: what is Melvin's fears and weaknesses?"
Loafers with no socks.
Wouldn't that mean his education would be greatly lacking?
Oh, here, I'm just gonna send Timothy that same thing.
Okay.
In case it'll be helpful for him.
Okay.
Like, obviously, in a fantasy world, some of those things don't apply, but like the whole movie book thing, that's just a generalization. If there's some type of fiction in your character's fantasy world, what's like their favorite story or myth or anything like that? There's ways you can alter it.
What wouldn't that mean his education would be greatly lacking? Yeah, even for the time he came from, it would be lacking compared to in his tribe it wouldn't have been. But
this is gonna be my entry for the Canadian Shield's leisure wear.
Oh God, no! We reject the entry.
I didn't make the cutoff or the entry. Is that what happened?
So he's not like coming here like in the 70s or something, is he?
No, he's coming in present day.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that.
Timothy says, "I don't." Timothy says he doesn't.
Like during the 70s, this was even like.
Timothy says, "I don't want to be in a position where I don't know something like Rick." I got bad news for you, Timothy. That's already happened. If you remember when we first promoted Melvin on here.
What are you talking about?
Oh, remember when we had Timothy on and going over his campaign and all that?
Yes.
What did he know about Melvin back then?
Oh,
At
nothing at
least
all.
he's trying to rectify it.
What's Timothy's campaign?
Melvin #1. His first time didn't fun, but he's going to be going at it again soon. If somebody wants to, let's see, can I get the link for him?
I don't remember hearing about this one. I must have missed that show.
Yeah, well, you could probably go back and look. Let's see.
Yeah, I missed
All right.
quite a few, I think.
I found the new outfit that I'm going to be for the Canadian Shield at leisure wear. Here we go. This is probably more practical.
Yeah, that I wouldn't mind. Although I'm not sure you can find a fanny pack to fit up.
I'm not sure what that would look like on a, was he 600-pound man?
Yeah, but it's like all muscle, so it proportionally probably be kind of the same. You just have to get it.
I mean, honestly, it would probably just end up looking a little bit like this.
Yeah, because it's a little wider.
It's wider. Back.
Lorenzo, if you go into the chat, I've just put a link to Timothy's Indiegogo coming soon. Timothy's Caliphate.
If they have fanny packs.
No, let's focus on Rick. This is about him.
Yeah, if they have fanny packs for those Walmart whales, you could find one that could fit around the shield.
Travis says, so he's had a poor education even compared to over 200 years ago. He's probably able to read, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. He has broken English, at first. Eventually that's going to be corrected. Or, talking to people.
Probably more practical.
It's just an enchanted fanny pack, says. Fanny pack included.
Yeah, he fits the whole shield outfit in that fanny pack.
Yeah, because that's the thing that I've said with the shield outfit. It conforms to the wearer.
And then he unzips the fanny pack and it kind of just like sprawls out like the Flash's outfit out of that ring and just wraps around. Transformation.
So the fanny pack is canon now?
No, I wouldn't say it's canon yet, but it could be. It could be.
Because I might, well, maybe if it was the 80s or something, was it the 80s when that was popular?
No, 90s.
Oh, they're coming back. They're coming back around.
Okay. Right.
And people
Because
still
of
wear
nostalgia.
people still wear them. Some people still wear them.
Okay, see here, this is basically what
That's
the buckler. This is what the buckler wears in his leisure wear here. This is an old image for when the Rock was gonna kiss China. The billowy shirt here is just gonna be like a Mexican guayabera, some short khaki shorts, and loafers with no socks right here.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's what the buckler wears.
So none of these guys are going to be like guys you go to for like fashion tips.
No, not at all.
But I guess that's not really the point.
I think that fits the buckler too. Ever since you said that he'd be grilling and stuff, I could see him just in his backyard, barbecuing in that.
Oh yeah, I think I still have that outfit where he's barbecuing. Hold on. No, I think he's just in his buckler outfit though when he's barbecuing.
He is, but just the fact that he does barbecue, I could see him in that outfit doing it.
Wait, no, Rick?
What? I didn't say a thing.
There we go. There he is. Yeah, but that's his going out clothes. If he's gonna be like around the house, like working on his car and stuff, then he's probably gonna be wearing like, I don't know, something that he thinks is cool, like like jeans, black t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's not like he has a wife to tell him to dress up or anything because of that bastard Harrington. And being realistic, the only reason guys really dress up is if their wife tells them to.
Yeah.
That's kind of true.
Like you usually see me in my Chucks, jeans, and a like a flannel shirt that's not ironed. And then my wife, I thought you said you were gonna dress up. Like, fine. I gotta go back in the house and go find clothes. Or she'll tell me, more likely she'll tell me like this. She'll go, "Is that what you're gonna wear?"
Timothy says, "Damn you, Harrington!"
That's why Harrington's such a snappy dresser. Yeah, yes, he is. He's a bachelor currently because he had to leave town. He abandoned his wife and his daughter. She was like 1 year old.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So he come back and she already moved on. So he's a bachelor.
Timothy says, "Note to self: punch anyone named Harrington."
Except Harrington's kind of like one of those like guys you want to aspire to be. He's like he got his like life in order. He's like a responsible, successful adult. So he probably does dress up pretty decent, even without prompting.
Is it like his like ex-wife's new or?
Yeah, that's his ex-wife's new piece, Todd Harrington.
He's actually a good guy. He's just a bastard to the Buckler because he's the guy he looked up to, and now he's in his way for everything in life.
Oh, I see.
The Harrington is actually he's like the exact opposite. It's what the Buckler wishes he was. He wishes he was responsible. He wishes he was successful on his own merits. He wishes that he got up on time for work. Did that kind of thing. Adulted well. And because of that, and Harrington's reaping the benefits now that he's in the later part of his life. He's in his late 40s. Harrington's reaping the benefits. He has his life in order, and the Buckler does not. And he hates him for it.
Mrs. Dillard says, "That's why John is the best dressed in CG." Laugh out loud.
Shut up. I'm gonna go live stream. She's like, "Are you gonna wear that when you live stream?" I'm like, "Oh, damn it!" That's why I had to get fancy and buy a beret.
Mrs. Dillard said John just threw out several of his logo t-shirts.
I did. I got a whole big shit of new clothes. Ones that don't have like holes and stuff by the belt area.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but for some reason I always end up catching my shirt in my belt when I'm trying to put it on. And I end up making a hole in my shirt right in that area. But I had a whole bunch of just garbage clothes, like like they're all falling apart. They had paint on them. A lot of them were like been washed. They were black because I almost exclusively wear black T-shirts, and with some sort of logo on them. But
wait, just like the Buckler?
I think Lorenzo just figured out the Buckler's a self-insert. That's the thing. I am a villain. That's why I gotta write what I know. But so I threw all those clothes away because I got a whole bunch of brand new clothes, and now I got so much space that my wife can fill up with her own clothes. So I'm actually, because even after I threw all these clothes away, right? I somehow have less room than I did before because my wife like encroached on my space. So I have less drawers to work with.
See,
And I just last night after I got off of here, I went and I converted the closet from a single closet to a double closet. You know, like the pull on top and bottom,
Yeah.
which are now both filled up with her clothes.
This is what
So now
hap-
we have less room.
this is what happens when you stop manspreading. You have to assert your dominance.
Yes, I mean,
Uh,
what happened?
Timothy
And the thing is,
said-
yes, her clothes look nice. Yes, they look nicer than mine. But I still need to put stuff on. You know, I still need clothes.
Timothy said, "Damn, that sucks, John." I think that was about the belts and getting holes in your shirt. And your wife says, "People." Timothy says, "What about people?" And Mrs. Dillard said, "Do you think John? Do you think of John as a jerk? Sometimes." And Timothy says,
Well,
"No,
like,
I don't think of John as a jerk."
But, you know, I got to have... And then I made the mistake of throwing away too many things. Like, for instance, you know, I had to get up and go outside. And I threw away my slippers and my shorts. All my shorts. You know, and I had no, like, ratty t-shirt to put on. So I had to essentially get dressed for the day just to go outside.
So you end up being,
Oh, yeah, that could be a problem.
hey John. So
So
you
what I'm looking into right now, Rick, what I'm looking into right now is buying a really nice, expensive, warm smoking jacket, like an overcoat that goes over all your clothes.
Ooh.
That way I don't gotta do. I can just throw that on, and woo, I'll be looking high class outside smoking a cigarette.
So John, you'd say you ended up short on a few things.
Yes, very much so. I would.
Oh, well, that was a pun, wasn't it, Rick?
Yes.
Playing the word shorts.
Yes. Lorenzo.
Because normally I got these like ratty old basketball shorts that I'll put on if I have to like go out into the house.
Yeah,
Or I want to go to the kitchen and get something to eat. I don't want to put on pants, so I'll throw on like these old basketball shorts that I have.
So you're gonna get like you're gonna dress up like the late Hugh Hefner.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm gonna have to. It's freezing outside. I try to go outside to have a cigarette in the middle of the night. It's freezing.
Oh yeah, this time of year.
Timothy says, most of my friends back in the day were like John, talking shit. Mrs. Dillard said those shorts had to go, and then she laughed, I think, at my pun. And then Timothy boos my pun. So I guess that was a 50-50.
Yeah, she didn't like my my kitchen shorts. They also had paint on them and holes.
I have like one pair of shorts that I own, and they're basically in pristine condition because I hardly ever wear them.
Well, good for you.
Mhm.
Are they
So you-
cargo shorts?
So are you just like
No,
constantly?
they're basketball shorts.
Sorry about that. So are you just constantly painting, John?
Yeah. Well, the thing is this: like, my wife, we're Mexican, and if you've spent any amount of time around Mexicans, you know that something on their house is always under construction.
Yeah.
And I got to do a lot of stuff because not just because I will, but because I can, and nobody else can. There's a lot of people that just don't. I don't know what it is about them, but in my life, in my sphere, a lot of people just don't have any kind of like regular skills. You know, fix a piece of furniture or something broke on the house. It needs fixing, and I always have this hard time with dress clothes because she'll say, "Oh, you know, go get ready. We're gonna go right now." I say, "Okay, I'll go get ready," but then something happens. Something has to get brought in from a shed. Something happens under the car, and then whatever I put on ends up getting a big, smear of
Oh, I
dust
see.
and dirt
So
on it.
probably you're wearing just special clothes for when you're working on projects.
Oh, your wife is outing your half-done flame tattoo.
Yeah, pretty much.
She seems
Well, I cannot reach the back of my leg to finish the tattoo. I thought I was going to have somebody that was going to do that for me, but he ended up moving.
she seems on fire putting John through the ringer.
is that a pun from the chat? I'm not looking at the chat. Hold on.
No, that was just Rick.
That was just Rick.
So how'd
That
you
was
get?
just Rick.
So how'd you get the first part of the tattoo?
I put it on the front of my leg.
Wow,
Well, I used to do tattoos.
I didn't realize that. Okay. Oh, so you just couldn't. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, I'm pushing 40. I'm not pushing 40. I'm 36. And you're older than me, so stop talking about my age.
Ooh, John's gonna pay for that one. Didn't quite out his wife's age, but close.
Quick, hide the peanut butter.
Yes, my legs were my practice for when I was tattooing. I would practice on my legs.
Bullet says,
Especially my thighs.
Bullet shakes his head. So does this mean he's a flamer ass Timothy?
That's Rick's character, the flamer.
Mrs. Dillard says his legs were his practice for tattooing. Laugh out loud, but 4 months. Oh, oh, she outs herself.
I'm basically the young hot guy, and she was like she was prowling for younger guys. What was happening? I got dead silent in here. Nobody believed that story.
No, not in the least. Okay, I don't know what IFF means, Mrs. Dillard. I think it's IFF. Or
I don't know
LFF.
what that means either. If?
Sorry, I'm muted. I had a sneezing fit.
I don't know. She may be meaning as if. She does do that Valley Girl speak. She even, you know that old saying people used to say, "Gag me with a spoon."
Yeah.
She actually used that, unironically. She said that, like in all earnestness, like it was something to say. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, what
I
year?
didn't know anybody actually used that in real life. I thought that was just like a parody of the Valley Girls.
Like maybe it was probably more. We used it a lot more in California, but it's not something that was.
Well,
I'm not really in the valley,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. The valley's nearby to your area, but you're not in it.
right? I'm in the Inland
Well-
Empire.
Some of the Valley Girl speech kind of
Yeah.
became popular across the country.
Well, after Clueless, yeah.
Well, I remember hearing some of the stuff back in the 80s.
Timothy says, "So John, did you get a spoon?" Shut up, Timothy.
Dang old Clueless.
Oh, I mean, movie. I like that movie. Oh my god!
I think I have.
Do you know you're live still?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Well, we couldn't get anything from the chat if I wasn't alive.
Hey, that's true. I forgot about that.
Although it is like 1:20 in the morning, almost 1:20 in the morning, my time.
Oh, I'm
Maybe
sorry about that, Rick. What time do you got work?
8 o'clock, 9:30, something like that. Dead silence, says Timothy. Hello, he says. So yeah,
I think
maybe.
he's supposed to. I think he's going. Hello, low, low.
Like an echo.
I really wish my wife would explain this comment because she put it twice.
Yeah.
What? The IFF?
Yeah,
I only seen one.
yeah, that one. That's the one. Oh, if you would take her wrench away, I could probably do something about that. Just saying. I don't know. All right. So when are we going to be doing this? This contest for his leisure suit.
One Rick.
When should we start it? How about we run it for the month of December? That way people can come up with their ideas beforehand.
Well, I already got my idea.
I got an idea.
Or we could run it till the end of the month, from here till the end of the month.
I'm gonna dress him like Tom Jones.
So everybody
I don't know.
will.
I think from experience, Rick, I think you know that people need more time than that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
From now till the end of the year. Although I got to
Still
start
kinda
it.
cutting it close.
Well, it could go longer, but in some ways, the longer I put it off, the more they put it off.
Yeah, I don't know. So when exactly? Because I want him to be wearing his leisure outfit. When exactly are we going to figure this out? Because I want to start drawing up thumbnails for the next comic book.
Well, he's not going to probably be in anything leisure till at least issue.
I mean, you have the
5 or
8
6
issues already written.
Yeah.
At any point in those first 8 issues, is he going to be getting out of his costume?
That's what I'm thinking. He meets up with somebody, the guy that's going to be his traveling companion, I think, in 6.
His hetero life mate.
No.
He's his
So you can go 8
homosexual
issues
life mate?
without any limitations or anything.
Pardon? What was that, Lorenzo?
Oh yeah, this leisure suit is going to have a lot of limitations.
Mrs. Diller, the comment he's referring to is your LFF or your IFF that you put in the chat. Traveling companion. Well, I don't know how to word it properly.
Hetero life mate?
No, they're not. They're both straight.
That's what hetero means.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's like Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
Or Gilgamesh and Enki.
I'm just
My
thinking it
fun
meant.
family.
I was thinking it meant something else. I don't know why.
No.
Oh, she says it was a typo.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I was looking at it like, what does this mean? This is
No,
cryptic.
no, he does not have a love interest in the first 8 books of Mrs. Diller. I know who he's going to end up having a love interest with eventually.
The buckler? I'm sorry.
No.
Sorry.
Well, the buckler is a villain, and has absolutely no belief in the Christian God. So who knows?
Well, it didn't like Batman and Catwoman have a thing?
No, Batman and Robin.
Well, that too.
Well, Mrs. Diller, I came up with the traveling companion, or whatever you want to call him, because, the Canadian Shield has no money and no way to pay for stuff, so.
He's a sugar daddy, is what he needs.
He needs a ride.
He
Yeah.
needs somebody with a car. Is that it? That's the entire explanation?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say how they meet up or whatever.
You're not gonna
Technically,
say which mile marker the truck stop is at.
so he's a benefactor. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I guess you could call him that.
So this guy's like the Tony Stark to the Avengers.
Yeah, except just to one person.
And in only one aspect. He has a car and a little bit of folding money for breakfast.
Yeah, dinner, maybe hotel rooms or whatever. Separate
He does
hotel
600
room.
pound person. Damn it, Rick! What are you doing to yourself?
So this guy's like a sugar daddy?
I would call him a
Yeah.
sugar daddy, but
Well, the thing is, so
He said they meet in the fanny pack section of a Macy's.
Yeah, yes,
the Shield.
Mom, they know that exactly. That's what they are. That's why they put them up just into it to bring out a laugh.
Yeah, so the thing about the Shield, right? Rick didn't originally have him at about 600 pounds, but I'm looking at this guy, and I've had to do like the math on how certain characters would weight a lot, and he is way too big to be the weight that Rick originally had him at, like muscle mass and stuff, because he weighed less than strongman Hafthor Bjornsson, who is like 6'9". After, and that guy weighs like 400 pounds.
Ooh, my wife says, what if his travel benefactor is a girl that is trying to stay incognito and dresses as a man, and the Shield starts getting feelings and then discovers it's okay because she's a girl?
No, we're not going to have something that convoluted.
I like that storyline though.
Yeah,
I'm sure John will use it now.
That actually reminds me of Persona 4. That happened to a character.
No, this is like that Futurama where Leela joins the military and Zap Brannigan falls in love with that guy, but it ends up being Leela.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch Futurama again. That was.
He says, "Oh man, it felt so good to be beaten up."
Yeah, I mean, it's also sort of Mulan too, you know. Although Mulan's the main character, but you know, one of the subsequent characters, guy that starts liking her or whatever.
That's true. Just like that movie, She's All That.
It's happened a lot.
Yeah.
Timothy says, "Wait, he kisses her while she is dressed as a man, and it makes the papers."
No, we're not.
What if he has a crisis of faith because he's so attracted to her, or to him, but then he finds out later that it's a girl. But then because God said you made the decision while you assumed that he was a man, I gotta take your powers permanent.
It would be take the.
That would just ruin the character, though. Whereas if you don't include the part where he gets his powers taken away, Rick, it might actually be an interesting story development, but I don't know if that is exactly with your Christian theme, and well, it depends on.
Yes, I do have.
It depends on. Oh boy.
I do have a year planned where a bunch of things are going to go to the crapper, or however you want to say it. I do have what I call my year of hell. Different things are going to happen in it. Actually, that's when my buckler is going to appear. Or the character.
And no, Timothy, that's not what the headline would read. Because they would have something cornier in it. It would be clashing shields or clashing swords.
Oh my god.
I stepped away from us for a second. All of a sudden, I hear about clashing swords. That sounds a little.
I'm beginning to think it's time to end this stream.
No. But I do think it's a good idea if you start thinking about like ways of like kind of enhancing your character's backstory besides just giving this this. I mean, I know you have an origin story, but
yeah,
which I mean I know you have a first comic, but it sounds like you're haven't like thought through some of the stuff that you could add.
Yeah, well,
flesh out the character a little more, and that's fine. I don't expect that in the first issue of a comic.
Yeah. I'm not sure how much have you read any of the other scripts yet. There's like I said, there's 6 of them on there. I don't think I've written 8, but only up to 6 is in there.
I'm going to have to look at that again because I don't know how far I went. I looked at it a long time ago, and
Yeah. See, I wouldn't say all this is there, but you start to get to know a little bit of his personality in those 6 issues and all that, and stuff.
are you going to go with like that word for word, or are you going to flesh that out a little more?
Well, I might change the wordings slightly different.
There'd be a photograph in the paper of the travel companion, and it would say, "Is the shield's armor impenetrable?" Question mark.
Oh boy. Well, it sounds like
the first year really is about him traveling and and then he's going to settle down in Hamilton, and I'll probably get into a lot more stuff once he starts settling
you're
down.
planning to have him in the same suit for an entire year
Well, like I said,
without ever changing?
well, as I said, he meets his traveling companion in his benefactor. He meets his benefactor, however you want to say it.
No, it's worse.
You guys just what his buddy.
He
Okay.
meets his buddy.
You could also say, he meets his sidekick.
Yeah, sidekick works too. Sidekicks don't
Yeah,
have
to be a super, to be a
that
sidekick.
actually,
Yeah.
Wilson is a sidekick.
Yeah.
yeah, it might not be the same. Yeah, it might not be the same. It might not be a superhero sidekick, but it would be some sort of sidekick or buddy.
And just the fact that you're kind of drawing it out by not saying something simple and you make it complicated, like traveling companion, it makes it sound like you're trying to make an excuse for what it is.
Yeah, it sounds like like they're lovers or something.
I'm trying not to make it sound thing, but you guys want to try and make it sound that way.
No. I sure hope it's not in the book because, I don't know. You can do what you want. I'm just saying.
Well, I haven't written the word traveling companion in it. It's just,
Okay, that's good.
I'm using it a way to describe it. It's two people.
It makes sense that he, might meet up with someone and they start traveling and stuff. I could see that working.
I'm sure after that point, you're going to end up seeing Manly Cougar, however you want to say it, end up in civilian clothes. Up until this time, he doesn't have really any civilian clothes. He left the clothes that he changed out of up in the north. He didn't pick them up and travel with them. He had nothing to put them.
So what was the order of events? God gave him.
He's in a church. He's in a church.
He didn't give him a ride. He gave him a suit, but
he's in a church.
why does he walk if he can fly?
He's just told to go south, and he is used to walking a lot, so that's what he does. Yes, he finds out he can fly, but
Oh, he doesn't know that?
not right at first. In the first issue, he does discover that.
Okay, I'm gonna have to read that first issue because I've got the book. There's no reason I can't just read it.
But
What?
I was just gonna say I put him up in the middle of nowhere because I don't want to give him culture shock by putting him in the middle of a modern day city. God takes the suit from the future and brings the suit and him to our present day. And
But he doesn't tell him how to use it or anything?
no, an angel appears to him, tells him to put it on, and travel south.
So it's kind of like the Greatest American Hero, where he doesn't know how to use the suit that he has. Like some aliens gave him the suit or something, and then
Yeah.
he lost the instruction manual.
Yeah, well, for this, there was no instruction manual.
I think that the Canadian Shield would probably be most comfortable. Like, you know how like super buff bodybuilders, they have to wear t-shirts with like the neck part cut, like that part right here, just below the Adam's apple. They kind of put like a little V slice in it, or else the shirt doesn't actually fit them.
Can't see what you're talking about, John.
I'm describing something to you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were doing something on your screen, you know. And
No. But you know, like with those strongmen, right? Like Samuelson and Magnuson and all those people, Pujanowski and all that. They wear those T-shirts, like a regular T-shirt. But when they wear a regular T-shirt, they always have to have the top, or like a shirt, they have the top 2 buttons unbuttoned, or they have the regular T-shirt, but they cut a slice in the neck, right under the Adam's apple, so that it spreads out because their traps are too big.
yeah, I guess so.
Like he would probably be most comfortable wearing like sweats and a sweater. Just like a regular jumpsuit, like a Adidas jumpsuit. What'd you think?
Possible.
Rick, didn't we have some sort of conversation before about strongmen? I'm trying to remember. Does that tie into comics or?
We might have. Well, it could either way, you know.
I'm trying to remember. I could just be imagining things because it's like 1 a.m.
Well, we may
basically
have.
here, like this. I'll show you. Like this. Wouldn't the Shield be wearing something like this?
Yeah, I could see him in something like that.
Yeah.
Easy enough. You know, well, the thing is, you know, it's going to be Woody's, I guess, sort of most comfortable in. You know, just like we all have different variety of clothes.
So this is basically his build. So something like this.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that easy enough for him.
Like I imagine that'd be more comfortable than wearing like a regular like Hanes T-shirt and all the limitations that come with that.
Yeah.
Unless he was wearing like one of those really embarrassing like big and tall big dog T-shirts.
Well, you might get a plain big one, you know, one that would fit his size to be a bit loose.
Because most clothes they make for people that big are like they're made for fat people. They're not made for like people that have like really broad shoulders and narrow waists.
Yeah.
So it would be like almost like a muumuu if he put a T-shirt on that was like because he was probably wearing something along the lines of like an 8XL, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would look like a dress almost. Put him in a jumpsuit like this, he would look like ripped.
Yeah, we're joking around a lot, but the what sort of civilian clothes and stuff, that is an interesting topic because every superhero wears some sort of civilian clothes.
Well, how did they do Professor Hulk? What was he wearing? It was a sweater, right? Because that's about what he would be, right, Rick? Like Professor Hulk in the MCU?
Yeah. And also, if you remember this, when the Hulk was merged for quite some time there, and he was the Hulk all the time, he had like a tank top on, I think most of the time.
Isn't that Amadeus Cho Hulk?
No. We're talking back.
You wear tank top?
Okay. I actually have a picture in Endgame. What the merged Professor Hulk was. And he is wearing a gray tank top for his size with like a big bathrobe over it, like a fleece one.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, he's wearing like a V-neck.
Yeah, he's wearing a V-neck.
Oh wait, I found another one here. Let me share this. This is really good. This it's kind of cringe because it's like soy boy dress, but it actually looks like it's casual. Hold on a second. Let me share it. Like it looks believable. Is what I mean to say.
Yeah.
Even though like I don't like the hairdo the guy has on there and all that. Like here we go. Look at this guy right here.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I could see.
But this is probably what he would have to wear, like with the neck cut out like that.
Yeah.
Trying to see whether I can find what I'm talking about.
Yeah, or he could probably also wear like polos.
Like this, he's wearing like a fleece pullover here.
Yeah, polos are pretty stretchy. You don't have to button the buttons or whatever; they pull apart.
I see the bathrobe you're talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Like, I
movie
think
is
that's actually
Professor Hulk in?
A fleece jacket, but it looks like a bathrobe almost.
It might just be like, yeah, just one of those. What do you call it? Like a cardigan sweater that
Yeah,
buttons
yeah,
up,
like-
like just at the stomach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but at his size, to get one that big, it basically becomes a bathrobe.
Yeah. Oh, here's one of the Hulk in just a black tank top and some brown jeans. It looks pretty rad.
So what movie was Professor Hulk in? I haven't seen any of them.
That was the Endgame.
Endgame Part 2.
Oh, okay.
You could always dress like Joe Fixit.
I was a big fan of Lou Ferrigno's Hulk back in the 70s.
When Hulk was a mobster, Joe Fixit, he could wear like a mob suit. But instead of being a mob, he could just be like a Rat Pack type guy. He just looks suave. But with his build, that's basically what you're looking at, is like what kind of clothes would the Hulk wear, because that's the same stuff that's going to fit on the...
Yeah, well, I guess maybe these Under Armour shirts that are stretchy, that could possibly work. Look at this guy trying to wear a button-up t-shirt. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, basically their workout clothes are what they'd be most comfortable in.
Yeah.
Unless you go this route where you have to wear everything really billowy.
Well, you could like over time get more clothes, more different kinds of clothing.
Get things
Like
cut.
custom made.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
But he can't get custom clothes. He's basically homeless.
Yeah, you
Now
have
when
to
he's
make-
traveling, you're probably not going to have a bunch of different clothes. But over time-
when he meets up with his new buddy, that's when like I said, you're probably going to start seeing him in clothes. He'll probably wear the suit on underneath.
Or like this jacket here, like you know how, what's his name? Remember when Triple H came back and he was like ripped out of his head?
Mhm.
And he was wearing like that denim jacket? Yeah, that's exactly what the Shield should wear. Let me go find a picture of Triple H in his denim jacket. Like this, Rick. This is what the Shield should look like in his street clothes.
A denim jacket over a leather jacket.
That's dope!
Well, except for having a shirt on underneath, I can see that. Yes.
Well, there's pictures of him having a shirt on underneath.
Here we go.
Oh wow, yeah, that looks pretty cool.
That way he don't have to be so lame. He could be cool.
Yeah, he's got a denim jacket, a jean jacket.
Look at this. Look at that. Yeah.
That would be really cool. That'd be a cool thing. And then that would actually, I mean, like talked about like, I don't know, whatever that 1970s thing or whatever. But this would look pretty cool.
Like here's a picture of the Hulk with some stuff on. He's got a whole bunch of stuff there, but I'm thinking this is.
There's one of the ones I was talking about with Joe Fixit.
Yeah.
Rick, I don't know what's going on with you in these 4-hour streams, but I can't handle it. I gotta go. want to thank everybody for hanging out. And before I go, I want you guys to go and back The Buckler. It's a fantastic tale of psychotic violence. And if you like being intimidating, if you like telling people what to do and throwing your weight around and being a big jerk, you get the Buckler. I'll show you how it's done properly. I'll see you guys later.
Okay.
Later, Lorenzo. Later, Rick. Later, Metal.
It's
Yeah, see
fun.
ya.
Okay. Lorenzo, you want to promote anything?
Oh yeah, tomorrow, or well, I guess it's later on today, since it's Friday, or not Friday, Thursday. I'm going to be hosting the Sleestackians variety show at 8 p.m. Eastern. Was it 7 Central, I guess? And I don't even know the other time zones, but
It just goes Mountain Time Zone would be 6, and then Pacific would be 5.
oh wow, that's really early. sorry for the people on the West Coast. It's going to be very early, but maybe you can catch that around dinner time or something.
Yeah. It's always, it can be always early for somebody, right? Or late for somebody.
Yeah, we typically have some artists on there. Sometimes we have people. We got one guy who makes his own video games, but he's not always on there. You know, we've got kind of a rotating group of people.
Timothy
I think
said...
Shinobi One or Shinobi Raccoon should be on there.
Yeah. Timothy says for you to go sign up for the Melvin #1. That's just pre-launch. You can sign up for to know when it comes out.
Oh, cool.
I did put the link
Yeah,
in my chat.
I didn't see much. I didn't see there was like only one piece of art in there, but it did look good. Yeah, I mean, I only saw a little bit of what the comic is going to look like.
No.
I like what I saw.
And we will most likely be doing the launch party for him when it comes on here. You know, so.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I hope I can catch that. Yeah, you're always welcome to put your link in the Sleestackians group.
And
I have another link group if you want to be added, Rick.
pardon?
I got another link group if you want to be added, but
If you want,
put the link in the Sleestackians as well.
yeah. Well, it's
I
up to
just
you.
don't know how often you're going to be able to. It sounds like you're often streaming at the same time I am.
Yeah, well, I might be able to make it for an hour or so tomorrow. It's with me streaming so much, it's like, I don't always feel like going on another show.
Yeah, it sounds like you're going to be, you're going to be drawing on Drawn and Quartered?
Yeah, I'm on Drawn and Quartered tomorrow night. We're drawing the Buckler. And that's over on Chester Busby's channel, so.
Is this John going to be on there?
Pardon? Yeah,
Is John going to be on there?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, that's great. It looks like he's got an excellent project.
Yeah.
Looks like a lot of fun.
Okay.
I think I'll have to talk to him about it. It sounds like unless he's got 2 copies of each, unless he's got like a Sleestack perk or anything.
Well, you just might have to do a double back. Or maybe you can work something out with John, to get a little...
Yeah, that's what I was saying, is maybe I can talk to him about that.
Because you want 2 copies.
Yeah, typically, if I'm able to afford it, that's the way to go as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, well, you can talk to John in DMs. I'm going to say, Mello, anything you want to promote?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Okay, let's see. So, I want to thank everybody on the panel for coming on and participating in this with me. I know we went a bit later tonight. Hey, it's alright doing that once in a while. It's good. And I want to thank everybody in the chat for coming by and chatting with us. I hope everybody had a good time. I will be back here noon tomorrow. We are not on tomorrow night because I'm over on Chester's Busby's channel. As I said earlier, or a few seconds ago.
Yeah, it depends on Eric.
That's at 10 Eastern. 10 Eastern, same time as this channel, same time as here. So it's hard for me to be in two places at once.
That'll be excellent.
So I will be there drawing up the buckler for the competition, and hopefully everybody can join over there and vote for me.
Yeah, Chester hosts a really fun show.
Yeah. So with that said, we will catch you all later. Bye for now. God bless. Love you all. Have a great and wonderful day, night, whatever.